Hello, hello. Hi, hi. Can y'all hear me? Hi. Let me know if the levels are okay. I haven't done this in a long time. Is the music okay? Do I sound okay? Yay, nay, let me know. Hello, everyone. It has been a while, hasn't it? It's been some time. When I was looking at the last time the last time I live streamed, and I was like, goddamn, that's a long time ago. Before I start, hold on, let me just put a post out on my socials. Get that up and running. How is everyone today? It is a beautiful Saturday. Where I am right now. Let's see. Live. Get the link. And then... yeah, the last time I streamed was it was the 13th of January last year. Well, okay. Stream on YouTube. That's the last time. Yeah. You just passed your driver's exam? Wow, congratulations. I know, it's been a long time. 11 p.m. on a Saturday? You gotta go to sleep? Oh, that's okay. Thank you so much for coming anyway. I know it... well, it wasn't really impromptu. It was quite... I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I said that I wanted to do it earlier on in the year, but this year has just been... I can't even put it into words. In the beginning of the year, I wanted to do some live streams to kind of say a proper farewell to all of the characters. But yeah, things happened. We had a death in the family, and it was like one of the closest deaths that I've ever had to deal with. So I kind of like, what's the word? I shut down for a little bit, just to get, just to get it all in order and stuff, and to just grieve. So when it came to work, it wasn't really a priority for me. And nowadays I'm better. Don't worry, I'm better. Thank you for the condolences. I'm better now. It's all good for the most part. But I have been quite locked in with audios. I mean, I'll get to that a little later. But first of all, how's 2025 been treating you? Okay, let me post this. Right, okay, now I can properly give my attention to all of you. I have been taking care of myself, don't worry. I feel like nowadays I am taking care of myself a lot. I'm making sure I get my water. I'm making sure I'm eating properly. Not sure about sleep just yet. That's a bit, but I'm quite motivated these days. I binge watched all of your past live streams. This is my first actual live stream of yours that I'm watching since I subscribed. Wow, thank you so much for coming, Chisai. I hope you enjoy. Though bearing in mind, I have not streamed in a long time, even on Twitch. I can't even remember the last time I streamed on Twitch. It's just, it takes so much out of me, but it's really fun at the same time. But this one, I think, is a long time coming. I've had to do this one for a long time. No, you should not text and drive. Be safe. Come on. First time actually being on time and alive. I feel special. Thank you so much for coming. 5 months ago, yeah, it was a long time. Bleaching my hair right now? You're my background support for this. Oh, good luck. I've always wanted to dye my hair. Maybe one day. We'll see. I don't know yet. May 2025 is a 50-50 right now. Half good, half bad. Yeah, honestly, yeah. It's been the same for me. I was worried I'd missed so much. No, don't worry. I almost missed the stream because I thought it was going to start at 10. It's 9 p.m. here. Well, initially I was thinking of starting it as the same time when an audio would drop, but because we have a lot to talk about today, and I got crumpets from all over the world, I think 2 p.m. is probably the best. Well, 2 p.m. for me anyway. And I have a feeling that this stream is going to be a little long. Maybe around 3 to 4 hours. It depends. It depends on, you know, all the things that we talk about. Studying for your exam. Oh, good luck. I listen to your audio every day before I sleep. It helps me sleep faster. I'm glad. I'm very glad. Even though most of them don't really have that purpose, I'm glad that they help regardless. I always love the comments where it's like, where people fall asleep to the audios that are very loud, you know, and they get jump scared by like an explosion or like a shout. Like, guys, come on. You know which ones to listen to because that says sleep aid in it. Don't listen to the other ones. First time tuning in. Jinx, hello, welcome. I set an alarm to be here on time. Well, thank you for being here. Elias yelled in my ear. You see? I love it. It's amazing. This background scene's from Isaac Farewell. This background is what I use for Twitch. It's just my general background because I am not savvy enough to get a better one. And I'll probably do that at some other point anyway. I listen to Zara to feel a sense of rage while I fall asleep. Love it. I got a notification that you were on live and tomorrow's my birthday party. Oh, if it is your birthday soon, then happy birthday. Have you ever thought of any names for the listeners in each story? No. No, I have not. Bro, these screams and gunshots. Oh, don't wake me a little bit. Damn. I woke up to Andrew kissing the main character. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people wake up to that. I fall asleep within 2 minutes. You're a sleep fairy for real. I'm glad. I'm so glad. It is, I don't think, wait. This might be one of the earliest times I've ever streamed. You should just loop a Napa Kamari video for stream back. Oh, that would be adorable, actually. He is joined, he has joined the stream. He's right here, like in petting vicinity. It feels so weird to be in a stream again, but it's nice to catch up. It is very nice to catch up. So catching up. How do we catch up? In the last stream, in 2024, when we said bye to Isaac, during that time, so in over a year, we have also said farewell to many other characters. We will get into that shortly, don't worry, because I would like to give you all a way to say farewell, you know, just to give you the opportunity, because we probably won't do it again. But before that, it is, because I'm probably not going to do a stream for it, it is going to be in a week and a bit, I believe. Wait, let me look at the date. In 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days, I believe. In 11 days, less than 2 weeks away, is going to be this channel's 5-year anniversary. 5 years I've had this channel. And it is insane to me that I am still here doing this, and that I still see some people in chat who have been with me since the beginning. Sire, do not remind me that I am old, please. Although I don't feel as much of an existential crisis as I did last year. Okay, last year around this time, I was so depressed, for a lack of a better word, because I was coming up to my big, 3-0. And it just, I don't know, the fact that the 30s just it crept up on me was just insane. This year though, I feel a lot better because I'm only going to be 31 this year. In exactly 2 weeks, 2 weeks next Saturday. No, wait, 2 weeks Saturday, I'm going to be 31. Oh my god, I'm going to be 31 on the oh wow, okay. I guess this year is a special birthday. But yeah, the fact that I've been doing this for 5 years is incredible. And for those of you who know, you've heard this a billion times. But for those of you who don't know, all of the newer crumpets in chat, I made this YouTube channel primarily to help with my Japanese voice acting and just Japanese voice acting practice in general. Because I was into that, I didn't want to let go of my pronunciation and my understanding of Japanese at the time. So I used this channel as a basis for that. So the majority of the audios are privated right now. But they were basically what I am doing currently, which is audio roleplays, just in Japanese. Is literally it. But then someone, or it wasn't just one person, it was a few people, quite a few people were like, hey, why don't you try this, but in English? And I was like, that's not a bad idea. I'll try it and let's see what happens. And then came, I suppose, the birth of what I do, because I believe, if I am correct, the very first English audio that I had on this channel was... I want to go to my videos. I'm going to make a guess and say it's Asarel. I believe it was Asarel. But I want to... What? Okay, I almost... I saw someone else and I was like, there is no way that he was my first English character. But no, it was. Asarel was my first English character, followed by Luca, followed by Kason. So those were the first 3 ever English characters on my channel. And honestly, I haven't looked back since. I mean, clearly, I wouldn't be able to do the Japanese roleplays anymore because I don't know Japanese. And the only reason that I was able to do those ones in the first place were because they were scripts. And they were written in Romaji, which I can read. But yeah, ever since then, ever since those suggestions, this is how my channel has been since. Oh yes, and Yandere Boy, but we don't talk about Yandere Boy. You know this. You know this. It was Asarel, yeah. He was the very first. Asarel is so old, yet he feels so new. I think the only reason why he feels so new is because I privated him. Like his first 2 videos, I privated because the way that I wanted his story to go, I was like, I don't think this will be good for YouTube. So I privated them. But then I really liked the character. So I decided to revisit him, kind of change up some things, you know, and make it so that everyone can enjoy him. And so far, it looks like everyone does enjoy him, and I'm really, really pleased about that. Well, not everyone. He's a little bit of a divisive character, but still. Emerald Skies ASMR, hello! You're my favorite ASMR artist, so fabulous. Ah, thank you so much. I don't really class myself as an ASMR artist anymore, to be honest. It's more like audio roleplays. In the beginning, I was an ASMR artist, absolutely. That is definitely where I got my first pair of legs, shall I say? Nora! Hello! Hi. How are you? I have missed you. I hope you have been okay. Those who are active on the Saku's Tumblr know that Zarus is loved. Yes, he is, and I love the fact that he's loved so much. Okay, let's see. So, before we go into the past, let's talk about what just happened. We got a Jonah proposal. Did we not? How did y'all find that? Hello, I just passed and saw you alive. Ah, thank you so much for dropping by, Nora. It's always a pleasure. My first impression of you is when I first found Andrew, I became more active to listen. Oh, because of Zarus? Yeah, I've noticed that as well. A lot of people who like Andrew also like Zarus. You love the proposal? I'm glad. Hello everyone, thank you all so much for the warm welcome. Well, what do you expect, Nora? It's you. Of course you're gonna get a warm welcome. June proposal. It was great. Was trying not to cry when he got nervous with his speech. That was so fun to act out. Jonah is the reason I've had to go to the dentist so often lately. You know, I'm not surprised. Same here. He's like one of the characters that I don't, in the same vein as Luca, I don't really want to tarnish. Or at least give conflict. You know, I quite like that his story is, it's not even a story anymore. It's just snapshots of his life with Bartender. Would you do a cooking baking stream? At some point. At some point. Zarus was copium from... Oh, Neil. Oh, yes. Oh, my baby. Jonah got my feet kicking. I love falling asleep to his audience. I'm glad. I met you through Nora, I'm not gonna lie. A friend said to me that if I liked Nora, I would surely like you as well. And they were, oh, that's sweet. I'm glad. I'm glad that I was a recommendation. Okay, look. Nora and I are absolutely gonna collaborate at some point. I remember when we first quote unquote met through our live streams. That was hilarious. That's still like one of the highlights of this whole thing. That whole interaction was amazing. Proposal vid dropped the same day I graduated. Oh, very nice. A double whammy in a good way. Zarus is my top pick currently. Ooh, okay, okay. Life has been moved. No, that's okay, Nora. I mean, it happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us. And we're adulting, you know? Nora wheezed a little too hard. Imagine if the collab is angst. Better prepare some tissues in the future. Okay, look, y'all know what it's like to listen to some of my audios, and I can see that some of you are actually quite suspicious with the fact that I've put out like fluff after fluff after fluff. You think that something big is coming. I'm not gonna say anything more on that, but I do like keeping you on your toes. Alright, so now that we've had a little talk of what just happened last week, I believe. Honestly, all of these weeks are blending into one for me. Right, so. Shall we get started? Shall we get started on saying farewell? The proper farewells. I know some of you don't want to let go of these characters, but it's got to be done. And I had to do it. Actually, yeah, let me talk about that real quickly, actually. So, I think it was last year as well. Last year, I was feeling a little bit trapped by my characters. It wasn't necessarily the fact that I had written myself into a corner, but I had done with a couple of characters, not gonna lie. Oh, thank you, Nora. Oh, you're so sweet. Yes, thank you, all the mods, without who I will not be able to do this. Yeah, I was starting to feel a little bit trapped by my characters, not in the sense of story, but in the sense of there is only so much that I can do with the characters that I have, you know? So, say, for example, the people that I have, or had, should I say, Rowan, Kason, Jonah, they're all similar characters in a way where you're kind of gonna get the same thing, you know? Their primary function when I made them was comfort. And that's all I can really do with them, you know? Comfort this, comfort that, comfort from a storm, oh, you had a nightmare, you came in drunk, something happened and you just need your boyfriend, you know? That happens a lot. But it's also kind of boring, for one. And two, it's repetitive. You're going to get the same thing, but in a different flavor, you know? It's gonna be different, of course, because the characters themselves are different. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be saying the same things. It's always gonna be, all right, babe, you know, come here, let me comfort you, let me, you know, pat you on the back, and let me give you a blanket, and let me cuddle you, and oh, we're gonna kiss, you know? And then in the same, in a different audio for the same thing, it's gonna be, yeah, sit down, come on, let me, you know, let me put my arm around you and blah, 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 let's play some games, and you know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And there's only so many ways that I can say the same thing, you know? And it's just, I want something different. And as much as I know that the basis of, you know, audio roleplays, or at least the stereotypical basis of audio roleplay, is comfort, is to just feel nice and to feel loved. I don't want to do that. I mean, I do, with the characters that still remain, because that is kind of what their function is. But the fact that I had so many of the same or similar characters, it was just getting too much, so I had to axe some. That's literally the reason why I said farewell to so many of them in such a short amount of time. Because then I could say farewell to them and bring in different characters that I am not trapped by, you know? I hope that makes sense. He said he's sick of the comfort and cuddles. I am sick of the comfort and cuddles. Okay, wait. I am sick of the oversaturation of comfort and cuddles on my channel. There we go. Just because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The same thing in different accents. That's literally it. You know? I have no idea how old you are, but when people found out my age, they were shocked because I'm one of the oldest role players on here. Oh, no, yeah. Every time when I say that I'm 30, they never believe me. They always think I'm like 20... I think the youngest I got was like 23, I believe. Where I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I don't mind that. Sure. So. The first person we have to say goodbye to, because we're doing it in order of when I gave them a farewell. But the first person that we are going to say goodbye to is Rowan. Rowan. Let me see if I can do this. So yeah, we have Rowan, who only had 2 episodes. The whole time that he was on my channel, he only had 2 episodes. The first one, I believe, came out in 2020 or the beginning of 2021. It was such a long time ago. And the reason why I brought him back was because, one, I needed a filler. I needed someone to come back. And so that people could, you know, say goodbye to him. Yeah. And again, he is another comfort character. But I don't need him in my roster anymore. You know what I mean? I don't need him. So that's why I decided to axe him. Rowan, who's that? Let me see if I can pull him up. Hold up. God, I haven't done this in such a long time. But let's look at my retired characters. Oh. Let's see. Let me. Here we go. This is Rowan. All right, let's say goodbye to Rowan. This is Rowan. Yes, jump scare. So yeah, the original intention of this particular boyfriend was he's just there for comfort. That's all he is. Sure, you know. And I don't need him anymore because he's just kind of like a redundant character for now, right? Redundant character, don't need him. So he's on the shelf now. However, let me see about, have I already done it? Because if I have, then... okay. Right. I have already stated that he has a September month. I have a place where I'm storing all of this information, don't worry. So, let's choose a day for him, okay? For his birthday. So then we can do Ron? What? Rowan. So, give me some dates. Or days. Days, not dates, because we already have September. Let's see which... How? September 28th. I've seen a lot of 28ths already. 23rd or 28th. I see 9 as well. I see 15. Okay. All right. How about this? Oh, actually, you know what? I think 28 is a sweep. Okay. His birthday is the 28th of September. Officially. Thank you. Right, because Rowan actually hasn't had much screen time, shall we say. He doesn't really require much else of talking. So, instead, let us move on to our next farewell character, who had a farewell on, should I say, the 14th of September 2024. And that is... Oh! Him. Kaysen. Right. We already talked about Kaysen, though, because technically he has had a farewell. He has been ended before, when he had his first season. Which means, I believe, he already has a birthday. Let me just check and clarify. Yes, he does. His birthday... Oh. Wait, what? Wait. Did I just do this unintentionally? Hold up. Oh my god, I did. Interesting. Okay, so, it seems like the 14th of September when he was officially retired is actually Kaysen's birthday, the 14th of September. I did not know that. You know what? Actually, it was my intention all along. I totally knew what I was doing. It was all planned. And yeah, that is actually kind of crazy. It's weird how sometimes these things happen. Actually, a lot of the times these things happen, I've noticed, which is kind of weird. But yeah. He got retired on his birthday, the 14th of September. So, what did y'all think about Kaysen? I know he's definitely a beloved character, but I would like to give y'all the floor and see what you liked about him more, you know? Because I have my own preferences of why I liked Kaysen. Mainly because he was like he was an insecure guy who knew that he was mediocre at his academics. He excelled in sports, but he still felt like he wasn't enough, and that was quite interesting for me to explore in the latter half of his story. He got trapdoored on his birthday. He does have the golden retriever energy, yeah. I know a lot of people do like that about him. Very flirty, but also a shy person. Yeah, he can dish it out, but he can't accept it. Getting snatched on your birthday is great. I know. I can't believe I did that to him. A eulogy, pretty much, yeah. I love how communicative he was, and the dynamic he had with his listener was so good. Yeah, I did like that as well. Kaysen was the first character I you started to listen to in 2021 before his first episode got remade. Oh yeah, I remember that. Welcome to the world of audio roleplay, yeah. He needed some WD-40 because he kept getting stuck everywhere. Oh my god, Sarah, I love that. Does anyone know Saku's favorite color? It's black. Oxy, what do you mean? Basic and emo. Aren't you the same? Even if I discovered you through a different character, Kaysen got me through some tough stuff. I liked the pacing and post-finale arc, which is why he is by far my fave. I'm glad. Playful and flirty, yeah. A lot of, yeah. Playful, flirty. That's another reason why I liked Kaysen. Kaysen's like that one crush you have that you never knew liked you also, so now you're in pure euphoria. Yeah. I feel like he just had that kind of innocent playfulness about him, so he was really fun to both voice and script because he was kind of different to like Jonah and Elias in the sense of, sure, he had confidence, but he didn't have that much confidence, you know? You're goth, it's different. I would call myself goth, not emo, you know? Kaysen flirting with listener in a closet while Alex fighting for his life outside will forever leave a mark in my mind. Yeah, and in the, so, for those of you who weren't here for the very, very first Kaysen audio, that audio, well, the revised first episode was not his first episode. There was one that came out in 2020, near the end of 2020. That was Kaysen's first audio. And back then, I wasn't as proficient in audio making as I was when I did his revised version. So in that audio, it was just Kaysen. There was no, I don't believe there was any other voices. But the reason why I like the revised version better is because there is a conversation that you hear outside of the locker, and that was really fun to edit. The first 4-minute Kaysen audio feels like a fever dream. Yeah, it feels like so long ago because it was so long ago, and yet it doesn't at the same time because I remember having the idea of doing it. Speaking of the server, Saku, where's your usual pinned link tree? Oh, I don't use Linktree anymore. It's the card. Hold on. It should be in the description. But I can send it to you if you like. Hold up. Give me 1 second. Card. Oh, shit. Hold up. Where is it? It is this one, I believe. Alright. Yes, I'm pinning it. I'm pinning it. There we go. Even though it was just Case and it was awesome. Yeah, but that was way back when. I remember listening to its first audio so many times, just trying to hear that conversation from the outside, yeah. Poor Alex, when Case and the listener were doing some weird stuff in the locker, he was fighting for his life. He was. Can any of your characters sing? No, because I don't. So, just see. Look, this is the odd thing, right? Because me as the voice actor, if I can't do something, then that also means that the characters can't do it. But I would like to think that some of the characters would sing. You know, I feel like Isaac would have a really nice singing voice. But I just can't do that because I don't sing. You know? So I guess for now, just keep it in your headcanons of who can sing and who can't sing, you know? Drunk Andrew was something. I still say there were probably cameras in the elevator episode. Who doesn't believe that? Oh yeah, the elevator. I'm not sure actually. I haven't really thought that far into it, you know? But it is nice to see that Kason was as a beloved character as he was. But he has his birthday, so we don't really have to say more on that, do we? So you will not see Kason again. Kason is completely finished. It is a shame, but he has his whole life ahead of him with Prefect. Now that they kind of live together in his father's apartment. But they're doing well, right? They're doing well. So, the next person to say a full farewell to. Actually, before I do, or should I? No, because I feel like Kason, it's been a long time coming. Yeah. Alright, this will be the last time that I probably talk about Kason in this length. So, say goodbye to our trapped crush, now boyfriend, who works at a hotel as a waiter, I believe. And he's quite a popular waiter, actually. The patrons love him. Not surprised why. So next, who do we have? We have in... What's the date? The 28th of September of last year. The next person to get retired is this bunny boy. One of my favorite characters. One of my favorites. Luca. Luca. Love, oh my god. I miss him. I really do. So let's have a look at Luca, shall we? Luca Pierce. I do have a birth date for him as well. It is the 7th of June. Yes, 7th of June. So, in our very last Luca episode, we had because I was kind of moving up towards that particular farewell. But before that, it was the just sudden video of them being engaged. Yeah. And then it was his farewell audio, which was him being on his honeymoon with the listener, who is now called Bonbon, by the way. He's called Bonbon, or BB. Which can also be like baby, you know? So he was on his honeymoon with Bonbon on a cruise, no less. And they got upgraded. Oof. For no extra charge, by the way. Pretty nice. So we're going to say farewell to Luca. What did you enjoy about Luca? Because one of the things I loved about him was obviously voicing him. Do y'all have any questions about him? Maybe I should let you ask questions about Rowan, Kaysen, and Luca. Well, all the farewell characters actually. So give me some questions and let's see if we can answer them. What is there not to enjoy about him? The fact that you named my rabbit after him on that one stream. Yeah, oh wow, that was ages ago. I do remember that. His little confident moments when he was playful, the listener was so cute, and then when he got flustered afterwards. Yeah. But he knows what he wants. He gets flustered, but he knows what he wants. I remember listening to one of his first audios. Yeah, in the beginning, when I made him, he was supposed to be like a special occasion character. So he would come out. His first audio was Halloween. And then his second audio was Christmas, I believe. And then it was Valentine's and then it was Easter. So he was going to be someone who just came out during the special occasions just to have something different. But then I was like, I want other characters for those special occasions. So then I kind of changed his lore, so to speak, or just his background anyway, of how I was going to utilize him. Yeah. He was sweet, but I never got any cavities from Luca. Oh, you didn't? Wow. Luca's final audio, I had his voice change a little, or is that just me? No, it changed a little because my voice has also changed since doing a Luca. Like, in the beginning, I had much easier time doing Luca's voice. Nowadays, I do not. However, I will try my best right now because I have my water, so I'll try my best to do Luca. I'm probably gonna like strain, but here we go. Oh. All right. Hi. Actually, it wasn't that hard. I just gotta get up there. I love it. I forgot how much I love doing Luca's voice. I'm not gonna square up. I'm not old either. Hi guys. How are y'all? Wow. Man. I haven't done that in a while. Alright, so questions. Let's hear some questions. What do you want to ask me? You question why people say you're 22? Just because I sound... what? Because my voice is a little higher? All of a sudden, I'm also young? There are guys that have high voices. Do you have rabies? I do not have rabies. I have bunny ears. My favorite chocolate? Ooh. You can't ask me that question. My favorite chocolate flavor? You can't ask me that either. Does Mocha have a sibling yet? I want to get another cat for Mocha, but I don't know. I don't know yet. Maybe one day. Jesus. Do I like matcha? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Even though my creator doesn't. He hates it. Chocolate mint or just chocolate? That's hard. I'm gonna say chocolate. I'm gonna say chocolate. What am I like during an argument? I try not to argue because I don't really like the tension. So I want to kind of make sure that we're on the same wavelength and then just talk about it. Because if you want to let off some steam, then I'll let you. I don't want to have that directed at me, you know? The creator sounds so ominous. I feel like doing Luca's voice should be harder than doing Isaac's one. No, Luca is really easy. Because all I have to do is really just pitch up my voice a bit. And kind of stretch my neck a little to kind of get a little extra higher before my voice starts cracking. But then, because he also kind of, he talks through his nose. Like me. So it's much easier. But then when I have to voice Isaac is all the way down here. And I have to talk very breathy. And it's a lot. And I can't. So I have to do it in certain times. You know? Yeah. So Isaac is just much harder. He's just much harder. I mean, I do like voicing both because they are different. However, I just like voicing Luca more because he just has more energy to him. You know? Yeah. Right. So, Luca. Would you want to move on? Shall we move on and shall we say our final goodbyes to Luca? He will be sorely missed by me. He's had his time in the spotlight. I love him so much. He was, as I said before, one of the first English videos that I'd ever made. And he was such a joy. Such a joy. So, let's say goodbye to Luca. Farewell. Farewell, my boy. And we will move on to the next character. The next character who had an official farewell. And that is... Let's change this to retired characters. This lovely specimen. Sevik. Who got his farewell on the 26th of October, 2024. So almost a month later, we had another farewell in the form of Sevik. Now, this character, very interesting. We can't make a birthday for him because he's a demon. So, Sevik. I know he wasn't the most beloved character. He was a bit much for some people. I know that. But What did y'all think about him? Let's have a little look. How does one pronounce the nickname for the Vix listener? Oh, Ixus. Ixus. Have you ever thought about making a sheet for his language? I mean, I do have his language. It's a little fleshed out, so I can speak some of it. But I don't know about making a sheet. I don't know. I'll see. Hey, Streaky, hello. Can I still give him pancakes? He'll eat pancakes. He's not like, I mean, he's a demon, but he's not like a demon, you know what I mean? Or he's not what demons are necessarily, like, normally portrayed as. What was I about to write down? Oh, yeah. Just so that I remember. Language sheet, question mark? We'll see. Am I the only one when hearing Civic name change what just changes your accent? Just saying his name makes me feel like I'm better pronouncing his name in a different language. No, honest, but I mean that is kind of what happens, isn't it? If you are familiar with the language that a certain name comes from, then you would change to fit the language, right? Like that's with like Korean names, Japanese names, just any name that the origin is different, you know? He's a demon, but not a monster. Oh, he can be a monster. He's a monster too. I think he's not as bad of a monster, you know? Let's see. Let me see if I can find some of his language. Oh, Saku, would you like to explain why you scrapped him? Oh, okay. TLDR. I scrapped him simply because he was not popular. He was not a popular character. In the beginning, it seemed that people were interested in him just because he was a little different. But he, when compared to the other characters on my channel, he wasn't the most popular. So, you know, I need to think of this as a business because it is a business. This is my full-time job. So I have to make sure that, you know, the content that I'm making is something that people are interested in. Civic, however, kind of has a cult following, oddly enough. So even though he performed not well, the people who love him, like, love him. You know what I mean? Which is cool. I really, really like that. I like that. Okay, who is in the Civic cult? Let me see. Let me see how many are here who absolutely love Civic. While I find this, the document. Where did I put it? Ah, here it is. Whoa! Oh my god! All right, there are quite a lot of people in the cult. Wow! Did you see what I mean? He has the followers. He has the people who like him, but when compared to others, it's just not enough. It's not enough. If he had like Andrew's level of following, then he would absolutely still be on the channel. But unfortunately, he needed to be shelved. What language does he speak? He speaks a language that I created, a conlang, called Shetisond, I believe that's what I called it. Let's have a little look, shall we? Shetisond. Right. Blah, 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 the 5 gates, blah, blah, blah. So I had to put it all in one document so I could remember all of the information that I made about his lore and his, what did he call it? Shetimach, that's it. Question, Saku, would you upload anyone else aside, beside Andrew on Spotify? Maybe, I'm not sure. I have other things right now that are that are a priority, but maybe when I have the time, I'll think more into whether or not I'm going to be putting other audios on Spotify. I'm not sure yet. All right. So, Sevik. It's a shame because I can't put the filter I would put on his voice. You know? Because it's doubled. So it doesn't have the same effect. I can't do it live. I'm not a demon, you know. There's not another voice screaming to come out. So let's see. Let's say some things in Shetison, shall we? Oh, should I try and put hold on 1 second, I have an idea. Just because. Let's go to I want some dark ones. Mood? Dark? I have no idea what these are gonna sound like. But let's go for it. Let's just pause that. Where are we at? We are at... Wait, where are we at? Jesus, we've been through a lot of songs. Where am I at? Sleepwalking. I'll find it eventually. It's down here. Very, very... Okay, yeah, let's try it. Let's try this. This one? This one? Wait. Ooh, wait. Ooh, okay. I like this. Right. Let's get some Sevik, shall we? Let's put this up a bit. So, right. Ul Sevik. Shechal she'uvda chajem. Ul nuzuk. Nekese dreje dao. Ful maim gubej dai. Ul tanake jaiji machtao. Ul nuzuk. Ul nejil dai. Ul gubejed fin koslos zo jaiji mach. Koishik pusus dao. Ul nuzuk. Kajeti fruje gubejed zo jaiji mach. Fin koslos dao. So yeah. That's some of his language. It was so fun doing it. I'm the type who loves to make conlangs. I would say I do it in my spare time, but it's just, I don't know. I just love the creative aspect of making a conlang, and for some reason when it came to Sevik, I needed so many different names for things, because like you have the 5 gates, which is Shetimach, you have all of the rings, which is like Jayajimach, Jayamach, Shetimach, Shetijimach. Oh no, wait. No, I'm wrong. Apologies. Shetimach is the lower ring. But Suksvamut is the 5 gates. That's right. And then I needed names for like the houses. And then because of that, and because of the way that his accent is, I wanted to expand on it. And like, you know, Fajadir, the forest, and then you have other terms of the kind of demons that you have. So you have a Punisher, which is a Jivachal, you have a Dealer, which is Modichal, you have Overseer, which is a Forchal, and you have a Leader, which is Ajechal, you know? So like that kind of building the location or building the language helps with shaping the location, you know? It just makes it feel a little more structured. And I just love doing it. I love doing it. It's just something that I y'all don't understand. I love conlangs. I love it. Sola, hello. Oh, and Sensoruvia, hello, welcome in. So yeah, that is Sevik. He only had 4 episodes, unfortunately. But because of the kind of character that he was, because he was just different, you know? And I just love diving into a conscience that is so different. Oh, Jasmine, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. You are not obligated. Thank you so much. That is a lot of French pronunciations. It sounds French because it's more, what's the word? It's more connected to French, you know? Which is very interesting, just how languages are structured. And pronunciations are more prevalent in certain languages, so you naturally think of that language, you know? We're missing how Sevik was summoned. How Sevik was summoned? Ooh, good question. Because I don't think I've really seen that question. How was Sevik summoned? You want the truth? I don't know. I have no idea. I did not think about it. I did not flesh it out. I was just like, yeah, there's a demon that's going to be here through a portal. And he's going to find the listener who's struggling and, yeah, to make a pact. Yeah. If the language is made up, what country is he from if you had to make one? Oh, I have no idea. I do not know. Because I just made the accent, and then with the accent, I made the language. Well, I kind of made them in tandem, to be honest. It sounds more Arabic. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it just sounds different depending on which pronunciations you pick. Do you ever forget which language is which in terms of pronunciation through writing? No. Because if you've made it, if you've made a language, you're more familiar with the terms and how it works, you know? If I ever hear Sevik swearing, it would be wild since he has a strong accent. It would be. Was his listener dying? Yes. His listener would have died. Wiki How to summon a demon. Probably got summoned by the pool of blood that the listener was laying on. I feel like, though, that there would be something specific to summon that kind of demon. Because he says that there are different kinds of demons, and he is one in particular, which is a demon that handles souls. Or just makes deals, right? So I feel like there would be some sort of, not necessarily incantation, but there would be like steps that you would have to take in order for a demon to be summoned. But he did say he was watching them. So why is his listener dying though? I didn't watch his series. Oh, the listener was dying because they got betrayed by the person. Well, they got betrayed by the man who took them in. Basically, this man pulled them off the street, took care of them, and basically took them under his wing. But then, at some point, he got bored, and he just trashed them, basically. And completely shattered Ixus's trust. And Ixus wanted revenge. And so they summoned Sevik, because they were going to die. But Sevik was summoned, gave them some of his blood, and then gave them the amount of time that they needed to enact their revenge, upon which he would return and bring them to the lower ring. And they had a little kiss to seal the deal. Are you into learning French and some Arabic words for the sake of your character's laws or for other personal reasons? I mean, when you learn words from a different language in order to make a conlang, it may be difficult to kind of separate them and differentiate them because the roots of the words would be completely different, you know? So it's not about the words that I take, but the way in which the word is made and just the general sound of the word. So what I would do, I can't remember if I did it for Sevik's language, but I've done it for my personal ones, is I would type a paragraph in English into Google Translate, and then I translate it into a sound or into a language of which sound I like. And it doesn't matter to me if the Google Translate is accurate for that language. I just want to hear what it sounds like. And then through listening to it, I then pick out certain character pairings or syllables or something that I like, you know, piece them together, and then that kind of forms the basis of the language. That would imply Saku is a demon because he loves our tears. I mean, I'm flexible. I can be a lot of things. Steel and Ixus makes sense. Oh my god. I don't even think the revenge was worth all the torture later on and being held up in a room for a decade, almost 2 decades, mind you. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you make a deal with a demon, what do you expect, you know? But it seemed that for Ixus, the revenge was necessary, you know? They were like, yeah, sure. I'll take an eternity of hell and hellfire and torture if I get back at this man. And they did. And they did. So now they have to, you know, pay the consequences. It's like you should play Resident Evil if you haven't already. Oh, Resident Evil aren't really my games. I don't really like horrors. I do play horrors on occasion, but Resident Evil would not be one of them. Right. So, Sevik. Any more questions for Sevik? If not, we will be saying goodbye to this demon. But, honestly, through Ixus, I mean, through, Sevik, you actually got to know a little bit more lore about Sakuverse in general, which is interesting. He doesn't have a soft spot. I wouldn't say he has a soft spot, no. He's lived for thousands of years. He's had plenty of souls. He has probably shredded souls himself. He's traded souls. He's donated souls. He is not someone that gets soft. He's someone that gets curious, but not soft. How did you pick his name? Did you come up with it yourself? I did. I don't know. Sevik was just something that sounded nice. Is it possible he shows up as a side character in later audios? No. No. I mean, when I say farewell, I say you're not going to probably hear these characters again in any audios. Like, this is it. This is it for them. Yeah. So, supernaturals came from demons, yeah? I mean, it is implied. Yes. He said himself it was quite the scandal. That it accidentally happened. I can't remember if he said accidentally or purposely, but it happened. And it seemed that demons were involved in some capacity of creating some mythics. He is a character who's supposed to be evil. Well, I mean, he is. He's a demon. But he's more than a demon. Kind of off topic, but what's the reason for not making a werewolf ASMR? That's funny. Because I don't like werewolves. I've never liked werewolves, so I won't make a werewolf. I can have other people voice the werewolves, but I'm not into their lore. Like, I don't find them interesting. I think it was an accident. Yeah, I believe it was an accident. Make one so I could... We'll see, Oxy. He kind of helped me with my religious trauma in some twisted way. Oh, that's so interesting. Wow. I refuse to say goodbye to Sevik, but I believe we have to. I think it's time. So, with that said, let's give a warm applause for Sevik. Sevik, I'm going to miss you. You were very fun to voice. Very fun to write. Your background was exciting. Your concept was exciting. You had so much more potential because I really wanted to flesh out more of the 5 gates because I had these things. Oh wait, actually, I said it in Discord, but I don't think I've ever said it. No, I wouldn't have been able to say it, would I? All right, so before we actually say goodbye to Sevik, I'll give you a little insider of what I did have planned for him. So I normally, when it comes to these things that I make myself, I kind of go a little too much into the future, or I world build too much. Basically, that is a problem that I have. And for Sevik, for the 5 gates, what was going to happen was one. I can't remember in which episode. I think it's either the 2nd or the 3rd episode where he talks about he doesn't know where the souls go, or not where the souls go, where punished demons go, because they go they're sent to, I think, an overseer or the leader, and they're just never seen again. It's not actually the 5 gates. There aren't actually 5 planes here. So the highest is the souls that are judged as the purest, right? I'm reading off the document, by the way, because I can't do this off the top of my head. So the highest souls, they're deemed closest to the entities who shepherd the souls, and they're therefore close to them. They have the luxury of living forever in a utopia, and they can also be reincarnated. That's the highest ring. The higher ring is souls that are judged as good. So for eternity, they're also, living in a utopia, and they can be reincarnated if they wish. Purgatory is Earth, basically. So purgatory is the realm in which souls are born and tested to be judged after their corporeal form has disappeared. Souls too complex are reincarnated again until a verdict is decided. Apparently. The lower ring is where Sevik is from. The lowest ring is where the worst souls are. And then there is another beneath that, which is called the Pit. Is not common knowledge to the people in Suksvamut. It's a graveyard of purged souls that remain broken and tossed like trash. The Pit is also home to entities that have broken the laws of Suksvamut and suffer there, unable to escape until they have endured their punishment. Only the truly egregious entities that like to inflict pain on their own kind live here. So, there's another layer. There was going to be another layer of Sevik's story. And I made it so that it may have been possible that he finds out about the Pit. That was one of the potentials of his story, is finding out about the Pit. However, there was also another twist that I had made beforehand, which was that he didn't know his background. Like, all he remembers is his first thought of being a demon was just being a demon, right? But what I wanted it to be was that demons, or at least the lesser entities like him, were actually born from the souls. That, like a human soul. So, way back when he was human, he just doesn't know. Or he can't remember, because that is completely stripped from him. So that was going to be another potential storyline where he figures out that he actually, or at least demons, were souls at some point. And I think that I would have loved to see how he navigated that, Like, what would that do to his psyche? What would that do to his identity, of being a demon, knowing that he's looked down on humans this whole time. He's been shepherding the souls. He's been making deals with them, stripping them, like literally just breaking them apart for thousands of years, and then he finds out that he used to be one. You know? Ah, that would have been so much fun. That would have been so much fun to explore. But alas, we have to say goodbye. So, goodbye, Civic. It was fun knowing you. It was fun knowing you. So, we will move on to the next character. Would you consider some sort of angel ASMR, like godlike being? Some of your characters have religious aspects, so I'm curious if you'll consider an angel or a god. Probably not. Probably not, no. Because I feel like demons have more flesh to them, for lack of a better word. They have more substance, I think. And lore-wise, there's a lot that I can do with them. Angels are quite strict in their lore. I mean, and even though I could make my own, like I did with, like, I could potentially use the same thing, like the 5 gates, to make an angel and have an entity from a higher ring seen as an angel, you know? But I don't know. It's probably not. I wouldn't say for definite no, but it's likely a no. Let's see. So, the next person who had their farewell on the 14th of December 2024. The next person is this guy. Alex. We will say farewell to Alex. Right. Oh, wait, what? Hold up. Oh, wait, hold up. You're right. I completely forgot. Hold up. Wait. I'm getting too ahead of myself. No. This guy. This guy's next. Technically. Andrew was first. Yes, you're right. And he... Yeah. Okay, all right. Put it away. We're not talking about Alex just yet, right? So, the 16th of November, 2024. That is Andrew. So now we're going to say a proper farewell to Andrew because he's not coming back. And I know a lot of you hate this. A lot of you don't like it. I know. However, he needs to go. So he was put up for his birthday, technically, because his birthday is the 17th of November, so we don't have to do that. Andrew, my golden boy. What do I have to say about him? Okay. Let's see, chat. Who was introduced to my channel because of Andrew? I'm curious. I would like to see. Yep. Oh, sorry too. Yeah, it was a lot. He was the first for a lot of people. Do you know why? Because his first audio absolutely blew up. It went so viral, and I was not expecting that at all. So for those of you who came after, who are newer to the community, the reason why Andrew was a thing to begin with was because in 2020, when I first started my server, so that was in November of 2020, I got a suggestion to make an English literature professor, right? So it was just a one-off suggestion of like, hey, why don't you do an English literature professor? And I was like, you know what? I think I could do this. Sure. So I did. And here we are. Like, I can't describe to all of you how quickly my channel grew because of this man. Right? It was insane. It was crazy. Yeah, right now, his first let me have a look at this actually. Let me look at his playlist. Where are you? Oh wait, there you are. Andrew. Right. So, as of this current moment, his first episode, 12 minutes long, has 3,200,000 views. Absolutely insane. Insane. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, that is one of, if not the most viewed audio roleplay, I think, in the male space. I'm not sure if it's just in general of like the ASMR RP, but it is up there, you know. And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit. You know, he made this channel. He did. He actually made the channel. If it wasn't for Andrew, I probably would not still be here. I've said this like a million times, but it is true. I would not be doing this still, probably because of him. Because of, he blew up on TikTok. He blew up on YouTube. And there were people, like various reactors on YouTube, reacting to him as well, which drove in more traffic. So I'm still just so surprised by how it happened, because when you make videos, or at least when I make videos, I have an idea of how they're going to perform, but sometimes it can surprise you. And I had an idea that Andrew would be pretty popular because, you know, British, deepish voice, literature, university, but also forbidden relationship, you know, teacher-student, people like that. But then when it blew, I was not prepared. I was not prepared. I don't think even my mods were prepared for it, because during that time, the amount of activity around the channel was just insane. And I apologize to my mods who are still modding for me, by the way. Thank you. It was crazy. But Andrew, let's see your highlights of Andrew, what you enjoyed the most about him as a character, so we can, you know, talk about him and give him his farewell. Oh yes, Kai is right. Reminder for y'all to not spoil or bring up any content and comments about my Patreon. The Patreon is behind a paywall for a reason. Thank you. The fact Andrew was the first character I listened to, I found his part 5 episode not knowing they had an order. Oh my gosh. What a way to be introduced to Andrew. Guys, as a British person, I need to see Andrew talking in Roadman English. Oh gosh. I mean, he says cap in one of them. I don't really think that's Roadman English though. But that's as close to like slang as you're gonna get. Can we talk about his relationship with Isaac, I beg? I miss Specky and Guppy. Oh my gosh. That was so good. That was amazing. For those of you who were there for that stream on Twitch, that was one of the best things I have ever read in my life. What's your TikTok, by the way? It's literally just Saku VA. I don't use it anymore, but that's what it is. As a literature nerd, I felt that how learned and educated he was, I'll be honest. Oh, well, doing the the research was not fun because I don't like literature. I hate literature. Yet I made a literature professor who was my most popular character. Was the Specky and Guppy thing ever saved? Yeah, I have it. I have the stream. I made sure to download that one. Oh, darling, are you asleep? Yes, his sleep aid was so fun. It was a lot of work because of how long it was, but it was very, very fun. Yeah, Andrew and Isaac, I love... See, when I first made Andrew, I didn't have any idea of what I was going to do with his lore because I was like, okay, this is just a one and done character, sure. But because of how many people wanted a part 2, I was like, oh, okay, maybe there's something here. And then everyone just started to love Andrew more and more. So I was like, okay, people really want more Andrew content. And then when I started making Isaac content, I was like, okay, people really like Isaac too. And then I can't remember the thought that I had to make the crossover. But I was like, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be so fitting if Isaac and Andrew dated at one point and was like each other's first love, you know? Ah. And I mean, I was like, sure, why not? Saku studied film? Yes, I did. I would love some kind of a flashback between Isaac and Andrew. I think a lot of people want that. Unfortunately, I can't do that because I voice both of them. It would be it would be odd because they do sound similar. Even though Andrew talks more similar to how I talk, it's much more easier for me to talk in Andrew's voice because sometimes if I talk more eloquently, I sound like Andrew. Whereas if I talk like Isaac, I have to completely change my voice, but they're still in the same kind of deepness and depth that they will sound too similar. I remember my jaw dropped and I had to rewind when I heard it for the first time. Can you do Andrew voice right now? I mean, Andrew is posh, but I feel like my voice is just too close to him, so just listen to me, you know. It's me. Fun fact, at first I thought Isaac was Andrew and Andrew was Isaac for a really long... Really? Interesting. I love this series so much because I can relate to it. I'm glad you enjoy. It would be 30 minutes if Saku talked to him to it. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. It's funny that me and my friend have the same personality. I'm like Isaac and him being Andrew, and he likes tea, but I like coffee. Ah, that's cute. I love that. Hey, if y'all want to write fanfics about Isaac and Andrew, go for it. You do not need my permission to make any sort of creative endeavors involving my characters. At all. Go for it. I love to see it. I love to read it. Who doesn't even... There are some people who find Andrew overrated. That is for certain. The reason why I'm not sad he's shelved because he sounds like you normally... Yeah, I mean, I have more cadence in my voice. Like, I have more brightness and emotion than Andrew. But he is probably... He probably matches my voice the most when it comes to who I voice. Yes, Oxy is right. As long as you don't use any of the official artwork because they have been licensed to only be used by me. So please do not use any of the official artwork that I use on my channel or just any of my socials because only I have permission to use them. I kind of like the angst that happened with the Andrew series. The issues that happened that brought them closer together in the end were amazing. Yeah. So the only reason... Well, I wouldn't say the only reason, because it did make sense for Andrew's story. For his season 1, episode 5, with the whole, like, blowout of the argument, it did make sense, but I wanted to do it because I think at the time, those kind of audios were blowing up as well. So I was like, you know what? It's about time. I guess I'll add it for Andrew, you know? So Oh, also, I know you've said that you don't like literature, and you've probably been told this a lot, but as a lit student, the law references were very convincing. Yeah, because I did my research. I did my research. I make sure for all of my audios, when I don't really know much about a certain subject, I tend to do research into it. Will Andrew ever see his twin again? Oof, that's quite a question. I'm going to leave that open-ended because that is also open-ended for Andrew. You know, I don't know. I have no idea. But what did y'all think of his farewell audio? They went to St. Lucia. They enjoyed the carnival. They spent their nights at a very bougie restaurant. No, bougie hotel. By the Pitons. Which is, oof. God, the amount of money for that. I forgot what his twin's name is. His twin's name is... Oh my god, I can't remember. What is his name again? I know y'all know it. Look, don't at me, okay? Simon, thank you. It's Simon. I couldn't bring myself to listen to it. Oh, because it will, you know, show the finality of Andrew. No, it's not Oxy. I heard his final audio and thought to myself, damn, this is really the end. Yeah, because it is. His farewell audio was good, but we need more Andrew content. Well, you're not going to get any more Andrew content. That was his farewell. That is the last audio that I'm ever going to make of Andrew. And it's a shame because as a creator, he was someone who I wanted to keep because I knew how popular he was. But at the same time, there's only so much that you can do with the story. And it's like, his story was getting stretched out, you know? Like, I could do enough with another season, but even then, season 2, I felt like it was kind of dragged out a little bit too much. So there's a lot of conflict, you know? But yeah, there is going to be no more Andrew from here on out. Why did you choose Simon as his name? Oh, I chose Simon as his name because... Wait, I need to get my facts right for this. So the reason I chose Simon was because in the Bible, Andrew and Simon Peter were brothers, and they were both fishermen before. So they were both disciples of Jesus. I believe Andrew was the first disciple of Jesus, but they were both fishermen. And I think that because of the background of his parents, they would give them biblical names, especially if Andrew and Simon were twins. I think that they would say, okay, you're Andrew. I think Andrew was the older brother as well, and Simon would be the next twin. Oh, DB, hello! Welcome in. It's been a while, bro. I hope you're doing well. Hello, hello. Yeah, so that's where Simon gets his name from. There were people speculating that his name could be Peter. I think because of the same thing. But I like the sound of Andrew and Simon better. So yeah, that's where he got his that's where Simon got his name from. If we ever heard of Simon having his own audio, please don't let him be like, oh, Simon Cowell, why would I do that? Well, you won't. You won't hear Simon. Simon is not going to be a character on the channel. I mean, I could make him a character on the channel, but at the same time, I don't know what I would do with him. You know? Who's Simon? Andrew's twin brother. What would you change in Andrew? Well, I already know that that Simon is a completely different person. Or are you saying what would I change in Andrew if I could change him? Doing awesome. I'm glad. Andrew and Simon, I get it. I'm glad too. Sounds like Alvin and Simon. Oh, interesting. Simon changed his name to Peter, I think, because Jesus said so. Interesting. Oh, story-wise, what would I change? Nothing. I wouldn't change anything about Andrew. He has his flaws, and I like that he has his flaws. Who's your favorite character to voice? Luca and Dantes. There was this huge theory that Simon changed his name and became Darius from a collab you did with another gangster series of someone else's. Confirm or deny, King? I will do neither. Because if it is a theory, then it needs to remain a theory. You said you do a lot of world building. How do you decide what makes it into the audio and what you keep to yourself? I would say... that is actually a very good question. I think it's prevalent. No, how do I put this into words? How do I decide what makes it into the audio and what I keep to myself? I think it's a matter of having written for a long time. So I know when I could possibly... Like, I know when a certain thing should be said. Okay. Let's put it this way. Right. For Zarus in particular, this is going to be a little bit of a side tangent, but for Zarus in particular, when it comes to what I put into the audio, it has to fit into certain categories. So category 1 is if it is connected to lore. No, wait, sorry. If it's connected to the story, it is necessary. If it is connected to character and character development, or character understanding, then it is necessary to write. But if there is something about the world that is just, in the back, it's just like, it's a really interesting concept. Like, oh yeah, there's this really rare flower that does this and this. Zaros would know that because he loves plants. So I'd put that in. But if it was like, I don't know, this ancient, or not even ancient, but this really cool weapon or whatever that he's seen or something, he wouldn't say anything about it because it doesn't interest him. So you as a creator would know that it exists, but it's like, where in the story is this relevant? If it's not relevant, don't put it in. If you want to build more of the world and the character as well at the same time, then you can do that through the interests that they have, like I do with Zaros. So you learn more about the nature because of Zaros, because he loves nature. You learn more about the politics and stuff because you're surrounded by people who are in the politics. Whereas if it was something completely unrelated to them, you wouldn't really know it because I don't have any point in saying it. Does that make sense? So like, as a writer, you really need to know when to bring it back to the core of the story instead of dumping world building on them. You know what I mean? Will you ever make a universe for your audios? I'm pretty sure you already have some audios where some characters know each other, but I would love to see that for a fantasy world. Well, I mean, it is the Saku verse, so a lot of the characters are related to each other in some kind of way. But a fantasy world where they're doing the same thing? I don't know. That's a bit more complicated. I'm asking because I'm writing a short story, but I have so many ideas about the world, but I'm struggling to not go on many tangents every chapter. Thanks for the answer. No, absolutely. As a writer, I completely understand that because I kind of get into that complication as well when I write, because you're like, oh man, this world is so cool and it's so vast and it has so much in it and I want to show it to people, but I also want to, I need to write the story. First and foremost, I would say focus on the story. And then You can add little breadcrumbs, you know, every now and then, as organically as possible, so that you flesh out the world at the same time. That is definitely one of the hard aspects of being a writer. Absolutely. If you love to world build, yeah. So who are we talking about? Andrew. Right. Any more questions for Andrew? Good night, Saku. Thank you for the stream quite late. Of course, go to sleep. For any of you who need to sleep, please go to sleep. The VOD will be available after the live is done. I convinced myself a long while ago that Asriel is Andrew's secret brother in my bro. Oh no, you know what? I remember seeing that. I remember so many people when it got dropped that Andrew had a twin. I was like, oh my god, who's the twin? Is the twin already on the channel and we didn't know about it, you know? And so many people were saying Asriel because he's blonde. I'm like, y'all, come on now. You know how old Asriel is. There is no way that he is Andrew's identical twin. By Andrew, you beautiful man. Yep. By Andrew's favorite novel? I have no idea because I don't really read. Asriel's in his 30s. What is Andrew's opinion about listeners' parents? Ooh. I don't think... listeners' parents... I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I haven't really thought about it. Yeah, I haven't thought about that. Andrew would love Lord of the Rings, probably. Isn't Asriel 400 years old? No, that's Xanthus, the vampire. Asriel is human. Oh, Andrew's favorite color? I don't know. I have no idea. When it comes to favorite colors, I could just say something random. But I don't... I think I will leave that to headcanons. Although I will answer a question that I have gotten often, but no one... Well, either no one said it yet or I've just missed it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So, Some Tom asks, did him and Listener get married after the series ended? Right. Marriage is not an option for Andrew. I will leave that to headcanons. I got a lot of comments asking, when are Andrew and Listener gonna get married? When's the proposal? Or like I would drop a proposal and they would be like, oh my gosh, when is Andrew's proposal? And I'm like, no, Andrew will not propose. Do you want to know why Andrew will not propose and he will not get married? It is because Andrew, because of his background, his parents are Catholic evangelists, right? And because of that, and also bear in mind that Simon, his twin brother, was or is gay, right? He likes men. Andrew is pansexual, I believe. Most of my characters, pretty much all of my characters are pansexual other than the ones that are specified to not be, like Neil. So, if the listener was male, then that would bode very not well for marriage. And I think his thought about religion and his parents has been skewed so much, and the thought of marriage isn't what he would want for himself. Hence, he will likely never be married. Yeah. So, I hope that makes sense to everyone. So that's the reason why he will likely never marry or never propose, you know? What about the listeners who are female? I mean, he likely wouldn't do it then either. Like, it doesn't really matter. But it's just the fact that he has so much hatred and judgment because of his parents that he probably would not go through with it. If the listeners didn't confess, how would they have started dating each other? Because Andrew said they would have been in a relationship anyways. How would they have started dating each other? I feel like Andrew would have done it after they graduated, you know? I think he would have plucked up the courage to say something. And also, yeah, not every character needs to get married. They are his emergency contact. I don't know. I didn't really think about that. It's possible. I like that a character can be potentially queer and have a complicated relationship with religion that affects them in a tangible way, but not stop them from being themselves. Yeah, and I think for Andrew, I'm glad that he was a character that I could experiment with that, you know? I'm also really curious about the process of creating your audios. What do you do to get in the zone? Oh, music. Orchestral music, particularly from like, from certain TV programs or films that I like. That gets me in the zone of writing. Once I get in the zone of writing, I'm good. Andrew just has so much trauma. Yes, he does. He does have trauma. Andrew's favorite food, or I have no idea. I feel like it's gonna be something really British. I don't want to say fish and chips, but no, I can't say fish and chips. I don't know. I know someone has said this before, but I absolutely love that you keep a lot of your audios and plates affirming for some non-binary like me. Oh, I am glad. Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why I wanted to make M4A audios in the first place, was because so that everyone could enjoy them. I very much related to the religion and sexuality thing, so I think I was so obsessed with the series because it gave me a relatable thing. Ah, I see. I'm glad you were able to relate to it. What would he have done if the listener had proposed? That's a good question. Ooh, wouldn't that be awkward? Ooh. I don't know. But that is something that is very interesting to explore, don't you think? I think that would make for a good fanfic, not gonna lie. Saku, do you ever consider getting story ideas from your fans? Well, I mean, I get suggestions. That's where a lot of the inspiration for characters that I have, you know, that's where they've come from, is from suggestions. Yesterday I was listening to an audio where I had jump scare because you randomly appeared without warning. Yeah, oopsies. Yeah. You called the listener starfish. Yes, I'm Eric Evander in that. Wouldn't the listener know that he isn't comfortable with it? Yeah, exactly. That is true. So if the listener knew him well enough, they wouldn't do it, you know? Hello, Romy. Andrew doesn't seem like the type to compromise his values. He doesn't, yeah. I feel like if he is really not okay with it, he'll say so. Oh, the Discord is in the card. The Discord is in the card. At the pinned link, you'll find it in there. If anyone would like to join the Discord, where sometimes we talk about, sometimes I pop in the Sakuverse General and talk about audios, the YouTube audios specifically, and we also do live video reacts. So whenever there is a YouTube video that drops, we all react together, and it's really fun. And then y'all can talk about it afterwards. Oh no, don't worry, I have water with me. However, you're right, I will take a quick break. I will be back in 2 minutes, or in a couple of minutes, where we talk about someone else. So I will be right back. Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Hold up. Come on, Kamari. Where do you want to go? Oh, hold up. Just make sure he doesn't... you know... I don't want you to be on the windowsill. Hold on, I'll be right back, wait. Okay, come on. He says hi. No, no, no. Come in. Oh, you go there, okay? Yeah? No. 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 Do I really have to do the be right back screen again? Are you gonna settle? Yeah? Alright, we'll see. If he doesn't settle, I may have to put him downstairs. Kamari, stop. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put the be right back screen again. I'll be right back. Right. I'm back. I think he was just hungry. Kamari has not been doing well this last week, really. So we're just taking care of him, making sure that he's okay. Right. So, next character. Oh, wait, before we let's just say, farewell, Andrew. You are not coming back, and you will be missed, my golden boy. So, what do you mean, do what you rehearsed? What is happening? Oh, yeah, Kamari, he got his bloods done, yesterday. We took him to the vet. And there might be a problem. We're not sure yet because we don't have his blood work, but we'll find out next week. But yeah, don't worry. If anything does happen, I'll update y'all about it. But yes. The next character. I guess we'll just go back to it, shall we? Play Roblox with Oxy. Oh my gosh. Look, y'all should know me by now. The more you ask something, the more you're not gonna get it. You know this. I've said this plenty of times before. I am reading it, Oxy. I see it. Okay. Right, now that we've said a final farewell to Andrew, let's say a farewell to Alex. Alex. So. I know that Alex is a very divisive character. Very, very divisive. So let's see how many of y'all. Okay. Oh wait, okay, I got an idea. I'm curious. Okay. Type. Oh no, wait. Can we do like a let me see. Oh wait, it's not really like Twitch, is it? We can do. Oh, I can. Never mind. Okay, let's see. I'll write this. And we'll see. Okay? Alright, there's gonna be a poll that's gonna start now. It's up. Let's see. I never hated him. Honestly think that his hatred for him was a bit unfair. Was the situation bad? Yes. Did he mess up at times? Yes. Was it all his fault though? No. Indeed. Indeed. I can't decide. This is what I mean. He is the most divisive character I have ever made. And the way that he responded, or that the response, I guess, for him was so interesting. I was so surprised they stayed together. I was so conflicted when when the listener and him both wanted to be together again. After the first breakup audio with him, I banned him from my ears because I was so sad. I was arguing with people in the comments every video. God damn. Okay, when it reaches 10 past, I'm gonna end the poll. So if you haven't voted, go and vote. Tumblr was on fire. Yes, it was. Oh, and it's 10. Right, I'm ending it there. With 152 votes. Yes. Okay. Very nice. I 100% think that everyone's very much, because the POV is the listeners, very quick to blame Alex, but if you try to listen from outside, they both had their red and green flags. Yes, they did. Right, so this is the time to give me questions. Give me the questions, I will answer them. I have a feeling that Alex is going to be the longest character that we talk about in order for me to get through all of the questions. So, give me questions, and I will answer them. How was it like to write the dream episode? It was very fun. It was very fun. In order for me to give more to the relationship, I felt like I needed to write something that was like trippy, and that was the perfect one. And plus it was April Fool's. My question to Alex is why? Why what? Why what? Would you consider them a right person, wrong time pairing? No, I would just consider them a pairing. Doesn't matter about right person, wrong time. They both have things that they need to deal with. If you were in a relationship with someone and you both had your red flags, it's more of a case of working them out rather than thinking that your red flags is something that's like a part of you that can't be changed. And so you need to find someone else for that red flag. Do you know what I mean? Do you like angst that much? Yes, but it's also real. What made you decide the storyline? It was too fluffy. Well, that's the like simplified version of it. It was the fact that out of all of the fluff characters, his one had the most potential for angst on his side because of his job. How is their relationship going now? It's going well, I would say. Yeah. Saku, was your writing of Alex's story in any way influenced by the response? Did the OG flow of the story you had in mind change? Okay. I wouldn't say that the flow changed. I will say that the context... Well, no. Context is the wrong word. The flow didn't change. The amount of information I gave changed. So, for example, the dream audio, like Des was talking about beforehand, the response that I got from Alex, well, the response that the community gave was not what I expected. Because I had written it in a certain perspective. So I wasn't really understanding of another perspective, which I could see, but I was also very biased to Alex, and I'm still biased to Alex. It's the fact that, oh, Kai, thank you so much for modding. Yes, please sleep. If any of the mods need to go to sleep, please go to sleep. The fact was Alex, okay, the listener, Gremlin, was in the wrong, but the audience were not seeing how much the listener was in the wrong. So I had to give more information than I had originally intended so that they could see more of it. But even with that, it was not enough. So it was a very interesting experiment with kind of giving more information to the audience and see how they responded to it, or if they would just ignore it and they'd already like made their judgment and they wouldn't see anything else, you know? That was interesting. Do you think they would ever move for potential work opportunities for Alex if the option ever comes up again? I am not sure because they had said no before. So it depends on if they are strict in their way or if they will make the effort or make the sacrifice or whatever, you know? I got annoyed with the listener. I also got annoyed with the listener. The fact that I had no idea Mr. Bob was a popsicle. Oh yeah, it's delicious. I also think it was a very realistic relationship trope because people love the fluffy ASMR and perfect relationship. Something realistic was very different but so cool to listen to. Yeah, it was very interesting for me to write it because people obviously expected a perfect relationship because that's what they were giving with Alex beforehand. So it was really interesting to write something that happened immediately. Like, it was just a huge tonal shift because of the accusation, you know? I think not knowing what the listener said made it even more controversial. Yeah, it did. Because y'all don't know what the listener said, but I do. Oh my god, hold on. Right. My cat was sick just now. I need to clean it up. I'll be right back. Okay, hello. Right. I return. Sorry about that. I can't remember where I was. So I guess... Oh! Bunny, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. He ate, but he kind of like, threw up everything he just ate, so I just had to clean it up. I think he's downstairs now. Yes, so Alex questions. Gimme. Don't worry, I'll give him lots of hugs. You plan on taking him to the vet? Yeah, he went to the vet yesterday. Goodbye, Alex. Will we ever get to know what the listener said to Alex? Probably not. Probably, yeah, I'm gonna say no for now. Because at one point I did have the idea of having it so that someone else voiced Gremlin. So you could hear it, you know? Has it been mentioned for how long Gremlin and Alex have been dating? For 4 years, I believe. I think it was 4. Why is the listener called Gremlin? Because in his very first audio, they were called a Gremlin. That's literally the only reason. On a scale from sworn enemies to besties, or lovers, how close would you and Alex be if you knew each other? I think we'd be besties, or at least friends, because we have the interest in photography. Will he be attending Jonah's wedding? Will he be a photographer, or will he be one of the groomsmen? I have no idea. Are Jonah and Alex acquainted? Let me have a look. Yeah, I don't think Jonah's acquainted to Alex, is he? Or is he? Maybe he is, I just can't remember. Romy! Whoa, wait. Romy! What is that? Romy, put your wallet away, please. Please? Thank you. Have you considered putting a script on screen for what the listener is saying? Lots of love. Have I considered putting a script on the screen for, I've never done it before. Because, like, nowadays when I write my scripts, I do put in what the listener is saying, both for me and for if I need lines, like if I'm collaborating with other VAs, I do write down the listener's lines so that they know, like the kind of cadence of the, like the rhythm of the speech and the emotions that they can get from the listener, right? But I've never put them on the screen before. I don't know if I ever will, to be honest, because a part of the, I guess it's a double-edged sword, you know, for audio role plays, is that you don't hear the listener, and it can be a good thing and a bad thing. So I don't know how much I would like to give to the audience if I were to. I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, I'll keep it in mind if it is an idea for me to play with, for sure. But thank you, Romy, so much for that super chat. I think except for the debate with Zaros. Oh, you were right. Yes, that's the only time I've ever given what the listener actually says. Is through the debate transcript that I did for Zaros in episode 5. I believe that is the only time that I've ever done it. But that's because when I was making it, I was like, how in the world are the audience going to know what the era said in parallel to what Zaros says, you know, because the context is really important. But that was the only thing that I can think of, was making the transcript. Any more Alex questions? Where did Gremlin go after the first argument, and how long did they stay away from Alex? They were away for 6 months, I believe, and I would assume that they went to their parents. I might be remembering wrong, but wasn't the big company that wanted to hire Alex the Toxic X's company from Lee's Audio? The company, Vensimia, is the same company that wanted to hire Alex as an in-house photographer. Why do you think Alex waited so long to contact Gremlin? Because would he have done so if Gremlin never reached out first? Good question. I think Alex might have waited so long because he didn't want to... what's the word? He didn't want to overstep. You know, because like they said, they broke it up and they hadn't really talked about it since. But I think that the fact that Gremlin did reach out was his opportunity to be like, okay, they're ready, you know? Did you enjoy the discourse he got? It was a very, very long ride. I did enjoy it. It was very interesting. Because it was. So kind of like SB waiting for so long with Neil. Potentially, yeah, because it's like... I mean, it could be a lot of reasons, like being anxiety, fear, but also a kind of like giving them the reins of it, and like, you know, if you want to continue this, then I'll wait for you. That kind of means Alex made the right choice not accepting. Well, it wasn't really a toxic company. If that's what you meant. The company that Solomon works at? Yeah, it's Vensimia. It's the same company. Saku, what country do you really want to visit? Norway, Switzerland, and Iceland. And Japan. They will get married in the future, right? I have no idea. Is Neil pronounced Neil? No, it's Neil. Just literally Neil. Will we be wrapping up the Alex Q&A soon? I'm not sure. Well, I mean, if there's any other questions. If you have any other questions about Alex, now's the time to ask them. Danny is their brother? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Danny is Gremlin's brother. We have an hour and a half left. Yeah, I know, but Alex is the last farewell character to talk about. Does Alex like Mr. Bubble? I would assume so. Who is Danny? Danny is Neil's bully. From Neil's series, The Broken Classmate. He's the one who traumatized Neil, basically. Yes, for those of you who do need to go to sleep, please go to sleep. Thank you so much for coming. All right, well, I guess if there are no more questions for Alex, we will move on. But before we do, I love how divisive he was as a character. He was definitely one of the more eye-opening characters that I've made on the channel. But I will still stand by him. I will stand by Alex. I am Team Alex. Mostly because I don't understand how he got so much hate. Honestly. I have no idea. I mean, I do and I don't. But that's just my opinion. I think that there was a lot of nuance that was missed with him. No, I'm not going to play Roblox. I have to go leave for a concert. Love coming in for a while. Thanks for streaming. Thank you so much for coming. Enjoy your concert. Wait, he's hated? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He is definitely hated. If a character gets hated, that means that the writing is very good. It could be a couple of reasons. Why did the listener not clear things up before leaving him? Well, I mean, they both didn't clear things up. They just, yeah, but the listener did. They just left. They just left because they couldn't deal with it. And then they never dealt with it, you know? I agree, you can clearly see both sides of it. And that was what was interesting. But I side with Alex more. Do you think you'll give updates through referees and other stories on character relationships among the ones who share a friend group? I don't know. Because I feel like it will happen organically. So if it does, it does, you know? And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Alex was in the wrong too, yes, but so was Gremlin. Oh yeah, absolutely. Photo Boy is the only series I didn't rewatch. Both characters frustrate me so much. Oh, that's funny. Alex just sounded so accusatory in the breakup, in my opinion. What was that your way of evening out the playing field of making the both of them being flawed? Yes. Well, in a way, yeah. They were both flawed from the very beginning, but I think that in the first video, the video that started all of this off, Gremlin was very, very accusatory, right? Extremely, extremely accusatory. Alex was working late, came home, and then was talking to Natalie on the phone about a recce, which is basically location scouting, preparing that for whenever, and then comes back and is immediately accused of being, or of cheating, right? No idea where it come from. Came out of left field. Came out of nowhere, actually. Because at first he was like, oh, like, this is a joke, right? Like, come on now. But then when he started to figure out it was serious, he was like, oh. But, what the audience do not hear, which was definitely a fault on my part, because I should have made it clearer, was that Gremlin was extremely accusatory and very, what's the word? Very forthright and loud. Like, they were like shouting at him. Shouting, screaming at him, accusing him of cheating. But Alex was the defensive one in that. Like, Gremlin was not defensive at all. They were just basically going straight for his throat. because of their insecurities, which they had not dealt with. But the thing is, they probably did not know for certain about these insecurities until they were faced with them via Alex, right? So Alex didn't know about these insecurities either. It's just this thing that snapped it into action and triggered that response from Gremlin in a way where Alex was like, I've never seen this side of you before. And he said so as well. Like, we've had arguments in the past, but this is nothing like what I've ever experienced. You know? And then we find out that in the next audio that he gets the email from Vensimia saying that they wanted him to be an in-house photographer because they liked what he did, right? So the fact, I found it interesting that there were some audience members who didn't like that Alex told his parents first before he told Gremlin. You know? But he had his justifications for it, which was he didn't know how they would react. But the thing is, he was completely on point with how they would react, because when he told them, they reacted exactly how he thought that they would. You know? So it's a little of knowing. It's sucking that he knows the listener well enough to know how they're going to react, but the fact that they reacted like that in the first place as well, that's a bit, you know, it just wasn't, but the thing is, Alex was also in the wrong for, I guess, letting his fear justify not telling Gremlin. You know what I mean? So, in that sense, they are both in the wrong. And also because Alex was like, okay, I think we need to, you know, break up. This isn't gonna work, because in his mind, Alex is like, okay, I'm a photographer, right? I work with models, very objectively attractive people. In his socials, he will be with attractive people. Just everywhere he will be, because that's his job, right? That's his career. That's what he wants to do. And he asked them straight out. He was like, okay, if I do this, like if I remain a photographer, or if I go and pursue my job, will you look at my socials and would you think that I'm cheating? And they literally, they said yes. They would not be able to trust him. So he knew that no matter what he did, no matter what reassurance he would give Gremlin, they would not be able to trust him. So he came to the conclusion where it's like, okay, I can't do anything to reassure you, so I don't think this is going to work, because he's not going to sacrifice his job. You know what I mean? Although he didn't go in the end, he still worked as a photographer. It would work with the right person. Yeah, but he didn't say that as an accusatory thing, you know? Like, oh, you're not the right person. He was just saying that. I would class that as like, you know, like when you're in those situations where you're not necessarily in an argument, but you're in like a heated debate, or maybe an argument, and some words just spill from your mouth without meaning to. I feel like that was one of Alex's lapse of keeping it inside, you know? He spoke with this outside voice a little bit. Or in his internal thoughts came out, you know? And then you find out during the dream sequence that Gremlin was a little bit unhinged. A little bit, a little too paranoid. You know what I mean? The dream sequence was literally so that the audience could know how bad Gremlin also was. Because Gremlin was bad. Hello, Tracy. Hello. I think the problem with Alex not telling listeners, like, they live together, it's just weird you leaving. Oh, you're leaving but not telling your housemate. Yeah. I do see that. So, like, the fact that Alex didn't tell Gremlin is a weird thing, you know? He spoke the truth that Gremlin didn't want to hear. That's another thing, yeah. So yeah, so the dream sequence, you find out that not only did no, wait, I'm getting my wires crossed. Not only did Gremlin go to the location that Alex and Natalie were gonna scout, like, they went there and basically stalked Alex to see what would happen. Without Alex knowing. So that was the day after the argument. But the accusations came from the fact that before the first episode of the accusation, Gremlin had looked into Alex's stuff because they had a suspicion that something was happening, found Natalie in his work and took a picture of her, right? And then when Alex came back, basically, like, cornered him, right? And it just didn't help that when he came back, he was on the phone to said person. And during the dream sequence, you also find out that they still have the photo of Natalie on their phone. They hadn't deleted it, you know? And then when they meet up again at the diner or cafe, wherever it was, they realize, like, even then, you don't know if Gremlin deleted the photo or not, you know? And in the farewell audio, I'm pretty sure I made it clear that in the in the therapy sessions that they were having, Alex knows about the fact, I believe, that Gremlin did follow Alex to the location, but he doesn't know about the picture. Gremlin hasn't actually told him about that yet. Which audio is the dream? It's the one that was on the 1st of April, 2024. Let me have a look for you. It is 2024. Never breaking up with your boyfriend, Alex. 1st of April, 2024. Sometimes the scariest thing is your own imagination. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened here. And the thing is, it's interesting, I think, the dynamic between Alex and Gremlin, because Alex's big red flag that he had not addressed, that he didn't know he had, was triggered by Gremlin's red flag that they didn't know that they had. Which is intriguing to me that happened. So Gremlin's was not being never dealing with the trauma of their past, being cheated on, and then they have this huge just anxiety of it happening again. And I guess they're just so in love with Alex that the thought of him cheating just completely, like, broke them, and they had so much thought and trust in themselves to think that Alex was, right? And then Alex being threatened with that triggered his own fight or flight response that he'd never addressed before. And his was kind of, I suppose, not being able to deal with accusations, because he's likely never had that accusation thrown at him before. And then the kind of dismissal part of himself and keeping very important details to himself. That's another of his red flags, because I'm pretty sure he said in the last episode that he's working on it, that he's working on being more upfront with problems that he's facing because he doesn't want to burden the listener with it. And in so doing, their own imagination starts firing up, you know? I don't know. The whole thing with Alex was just really, really, really fun to deal with. I just had so much fun diving into their consciences and writing it. So the thing is, I guess the whole at the end is like, is it worth working on it? Do you love each other so much that you are willing to work together on this, on each other, you know, help each other grow? And for Alex and Gremlin, they thought, yes, it is. I mean, everyone has red flags, right? I have red flags. All of you have red flags. You might not know it yet. You do have them. You might be aware of them, and you're currently working on them, right? I know my red flags. I'm currently working on mine. But it's a matter of, do they mean, and does the other person mean enough to you that you're willing to like either help them with their red flags, and are you willing to allow to be helped if you want it, you know? And with Alex and Gremlin, they wanted to work on it, and I love that. And I didn't want to break them up, because that shows, that kind of gives a sense of like, oh well, if I have red flags, like if I'm broken, you're broken, then we can't be together. I don't like that ending, you know, because when you're faced with it in reality, it's not something that you can just brush off and be like, okay, you have a red flag, I'm going to move on to someone else who's going to have a red flag, by the way. So, you know, I should ask the person I'm talking to about my red flags. I mean, because once you're aware of them, it's much more easier to navigate relationships, isn't it? But the unfortunate fact of Alex and Gremlin, which does happen, is that you don't know until something happens, and then you're like, oh, I didn't know I thought this way, or I didn't know I was going to do that. What's the thoughts behind mango juice? It's delicious, but it's too much sugar. My red flag is actually similar to Axe's flight or fight defense of being accused. Yeah. The Alex series captured the reality of being in a relationship, and that's why I loved it. We all have our red flags. Yeah, we do. They're really good for each other, but they allowed their past to mess with their present and possible future. Yep, I feel like getting them back together was a good idea, because you can't let your past... that's another thing as well. You can't let your past dictate what you're going to do in the future, because you'll never be able to live in the present, right? In general, do you have Word docs notes for your characters? How do you keep everything organized? Well, I only have the scripts organized in like documents. Other notes are written down, like physically written, and I have it in a folder. But all the other information I have in I'm currently building a website where I'm going to house all of the Sakuverse information. And that's really been my source at the minute of making sure that everything stays in order and, you know, in the right place. Kamari! Kamari, you're not going on the windowsill. Come on. Me and my BF are too much of a loser to break up, and he's anxious and I'm avoidant, so it's a struggle when we argue. But at the end of the day, a little communication gets it done. Yeah, exactly. Communication. Communication, sitting, and, you know, working through it. Right. So, with that said... Oh, wait. One more question. Last, was there any other reason why Alex did not accept the offer? The main reason was that he valued Gremlin more than the job. That was the reason. It's because of Gremlin. It's because he still loved them. And he knew that even though he would go, and, you know, it would be an insane opportunity, it's almost like he remained with the hope that they would get back together again. What's your favorite thing about Alex? My favorite thing about Alex is, I think, just the relationship that he had with them in general, you know? Just the story. I like Alex's story. That's my favorite part about Alex, is his story. Kamari, you can't go on the windowsill. Can you stop, please? Can you stop, please? The crumpets say hi. Yes? Come on. Stay here, please. Okay, so with that said, we will finally be saying farewell to Alex. So, farewell, Alex. We will see you never again. I mean, maybe on the website, you know. That's the only time. But that's it. So, bye-bye, Alex. You were an amazing addition to the Sakuverse. Thank you for allowing me to write what I was able to write. So, with that said, oh my gosh, Kamari's being an idiot. I may have to do a be right back screen so I can sort him out. Do you mind? I will... Oh wait, unless he settles. Because if he settles, then I can continue talking. Are you okay, Kamari? He's not eating plastic. He's just trying to get on my windowsill. And he's not allowed to do that. Because when he goes on my windowsill, he overheats. And then he gets sick, you know? Kamari. Yeah, just stay there. Just stay there. Okay, right. So, bye-bye, Alex. Bye-bye. So, who to talk about next? Wow, did we get to the end? There's no way. Alright, well in that case, Kamari. Come on. In that case, let's start again. Kamari, no. Okay, he's being an... I might have to do just the be right back screen again. So I'll be right back, alright? Y'all get some water. I'll be back momentarily. Alright, can y'all hear me? Sorry about that. The OBS crashed. Can you hear me okay? Yeah? Okay, yeah, because I literally pressed the be right back screen and then it just crashed. So I'm gonna be right back. Okay. Right. So I think, yeah, Kamari's just a little bit restless. He wants to go everywhere and I can't let him. So if you see the be right back screen suddenly, then you know what I'm doing. Okay? Alright. So, with that said, the next person. Okay, so we've done all of our farewell characters. That's it. Rowan, Kaysen, Luca, Stevik, Andrew, and Alex. There is no more. Well, actually, and you won't hear any more of them. So, it is done. Oh no, wait, I ticked the wrong thing, I'm an idiot. That is done. Right. So, for the last part of the stream, we're going to talk about some people. Oh, Alex birthday. You're right. Oh, let me have a look. Yeah, we don't know Alex's birthday. So, the last thing that we're going to do for Alex is what his birthday is going to be. So, how do we do this? We normally do month first and then the date, don't we? So, give me a month, 1 to 12. Give me a month. Let's see which one wins, which one I see the most of. And I don't think it can be September because there are 2 people in September. Seeing October, August. I don't think I have an August baby yet. Oh my gosh, come on. Mark. No. Hold up. No. I'm here. You're not allowed up there. Stop. Stop. October. I'm seeing a lot of Octobers. I'm seeing August. August and October. In August. Oh my gosh. Okay. Out of August and October, do August or October now. August. Everyone is saying August. Look, I don't mind if you go up there. Go up here. Kamari, no, you're not allowed that. Ooh, and I'm seeing a lot of Octobers. Ooh, I don't know what to pick now. I'll go with October? August? Oh my gosh. Alright. You know what? I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go with yeah, poll. Absolutely, yeah. That's how I'm gonna do this. Let's start a poll. Alex's birthday month. Alex's birthday month. We're going to go August or October. Right. Let's go. Now we can really see. Oh my god. Ooh, August is winning. I mean, honestly, if August is winning this much already, over 100 votes, and it's August. Well, looks like it's August. All right. I'm going to end it there because after 130 votes, it's still August. All right, it's August. So, now for the day. Let's see your numbers. Numbers. 1 to what? August is 31, I believe. Yeah. So 1 to 31. Let's see what we got. 16. I'm seeing 16, 20. I'm seeing 9. 16, 20. I'm seeing 16, 20, 9, and 11. So, all right. So let's start the poll for the day. Alex's birthday. So what did I see? 16, 20. I saw 9 and I saw 11. All right, let's start the poll. Yeah, this one's gonna be interesting, actually. Oh, wow, look at that. This is... this is neck and neck. Hmm. You know what? I'll keep this one up a little longer. I'll wait until the 5 past mark and we'll see what it is, okay? So, until then, let us talk about some new people. The first one. Actually, I need to find it first. Ooh, this one. Let's see if I can. Boop. A la boop. Right. This symbol. This symbol indicates a certain person. Tristan. Now, I bet you're wondering, Mr. Tree. I bet you're wondering, why is there a tree? Where's the person? The thing is, I don't have a picture for Tristan because I want him to be a faceless character, right? I want him to be a faceless character because I don't really want to be confined by the faces. I feel like if I'm always confined by particular faces, then, you know, I can only really write so much because I'm constrained. And I don't like that. There are times where I want to suddenly make a new audio, completely different setting, completely different people. Just completely different, right? And when it comes to making art, one, it can be expensive. So this cuts down costs. And two, it can take a while, which cuts down time. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? I just want to write a script. I want to write a different character. So hence Tristan came along. And I've always had Tristan in mind because, yes, as Yui has pointed out, Tristan is an OG. He is someone that already exists in the Saku-verse. But he's never really been talked about a lot. Because he's been in the background in, I believe, Kaysen's series and Andrew's series. And for those of you who don't know, Tristan is a character who's a bit of a friend zoner. He's quite always in the friend zone, it seems. In Andrew's, he was who Darling used to make Andrew jealous. And in Kaysen's series, he was friends with... He's in Prefect's friend circle. Tristan is. And he's always... Yeah, he's just there. Poor thing. Oh no, don't worry, it's not 5 past yet. I've been checking. When it goes to 5 past, that's when I'm gonna end it. Oh my god, Oh! Y'all are fighting. It's either gonna be 20 or 16. Damn. This is so close. I didn't realize that it would be so close. Yeah, so that is how Tristan came to be. It's because I just wanted a faceless character. The tree symbol was, you know what? I don't know. Oh, there we go. There it is. What? How am I supposed to? But how am I supposed to? It was a tie. It's a tie between the 16th and the 20th. Okay, wait. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to ask my mother because she is here. And see which one she says. I'm going to type it to her right now. And see. I will write, don't ask, but choose between 16 and 20, please. And then her verdict is the answer. Okay, that's the way I'm going to do it. All right. Tristan. I will get back to you what she says. Tristan. What do you think about Tristan so far? Because he only has one episode. And it was an interesting one because it was a friend one. Definitely different to what I usually write. But I've also kind of always had it in mind to put him on the channel. I just didn't know how. What is Tristan's favorite tree? I don't know. Probably whatever makes conkers. I feel like he would like a conker tree. He's chill, not gonna lie. Reminds me of my own best friend. Ah. So it's friends to lovers. Is it? Is it? He felt like one of my homeboys for sure. Aw. I can relate to him right now, so I cried at aw. I do like it when people can relate to the characters to that, right? Him having a girlfriend already is so interesting. Will we meet her? I don't know. Will we get any details on what he looks like for fan art purposes, or is that up to us? I'm going to make Tristan completely up to you. I will not give him any... Or I will try not, because I'm so used to doing it. I will try my best to not give him any big appearance descriptions. Okay? Tristan the tree hugger. Conkers are the bet, right? Do you think Darling and Tristan are still friends, or are they like... I have a feeling that right now they're distant. Tristan's listener a pop star. It seems like it, doesn't it? It seems that they have something going for them. It hasn't been specified exactly what yet, but it will be in future. But I've already kind of set the groundwork of what Gumpy will be. He's taken, right? Yes, he is. I have already set breadcrumbs in his audio. In his first audio. Because I kind of know where I want it to go. How you describe him, he's always been a friend zone type of person. It's very sad, so I don't know if I should say this, but he's a very good friend and person in general. Yeah, he's always been kind of like the friends. Like, in Tristan's mind, it's like he's too good of a friend to be more than that to other people. You know what I mean? Tristan sounds like a blonde character or a brown hair because Tree has a brown... Yeah, I can see that. I hope the girlfriend won't mind the listener. Who knows? Do you have an image of him in your mind? No. I actually don't. Which is interesting, actually. Canonically, his surname should be Tree. Something Gumpy can make fun of jokingly. That's funny. Tristan Tree. Oh my gosh. Tristan to me sounds like he'd be ginger. See, that's what I love. I love the fact that one word can elicit so many different imaginations. Or just so many different pictures. Will there be angst? I don't know. It's me. You know, so... what more can I say? Please, he can't get friend-zoned in his own story. I'll cry. Love that. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see, won't we? But for now, do you think he has potential? Let's see. Do you like him enough for there to be potential? Okay. Because I'm really liking these polls, I'm getting a lot from them. I'm going to do another poll. Should Tristan be? Or just... Okay. Do friends... Oh. This is just for me, just to have a look. I'm not gonna base anything on this because I've kind of already made my decision, but I'm just curious. Right, there we go. Another poll. Let's see what y'all say. Holy crap. Technically, it's been the slowest burn ever since their childhood friends. Good point. If it is friends to lovers, yeah, it would be an extremely slow burn. No, I can't decide. I see them as besties. Yeah, a lot of people do see them as besties. That's funny. Okay, so... Wait, hold on. My mum gave me an answer for the 16 and 20. She put 18. What am I supposed to do with this? We or need him to kiss. Oh wait, I think she misunderstood my text. Yeah, she did. She realizes what I. That's so funny. I think she meant what I had written. I put don't ask but choose between 16 and 20, please. So I think she thought I meant choose like between the numbers 16 and 20, like between, not out of 16 and 20. Oh my gosh. All right, so yeah, I know. That's amazing. See, do you see? Okay, look, this is a prime example of when when one thing is written or heard, and you have two very different perspectives on how you perceive that. Okay, oh, she chose 20. So, looks like Alex's birthday is number 20. Right. So let me remember that. I will put a circle around that. That is Alex's birthday. And for the poll, I will wait until it gets to 200 votes maybe, and then I will close it. But for now, kind of a clean sweep, isn't it? Friends to lovers. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So, it looks like y'all want friends to lovers for Tristan. I'm wondering though if it's because of the potential that he has and the potential angst or conflict of his story, or if it's just because you want another boyfriend. Now I want y'all to be completely honest. Which one is it? Is it that you want the story or you want the boyfriend? Come on, we don't judge here. Considering what I've been doing for 5 years, we do not judge it. Oh, actually, a lot of you are saying both. You gotta have both? Okay. Angst, although people do want it for the story. Which I appreciate. Both. Okay. He needs to have a happy ending since he already loves Gumpy as a friend. He does love Gumpy as a friend. Tristan's story would be such a good first-time platonic relationship series. It would be. But the question is, how far can I go with that? I could even go, if you want the real angst, have an unrequited love. You know? But will I? I don't know. I probably not, because I think the verdict is out, right? I mean, there's potential. That's why I like wow, Alex. That's why I like Tristan, because there's so much that I can do with his character, and with what I've already set up as well. it can go so many different ways, and I have so much to play with. So, you know, I love it, I love it, I love it. All right. So I will stick with Tristan. We'll see how far his story can go. I'm kind of doing it on an episode by episode basis because I just like the freeness, or the freedom of his character, and you know, writing it, it's just a breath of fresh air, really. But do you know who is also a breath of fresh air? This guy. This guy. I know a lot of y'all like him. The coworker. Yeah. Now he... Oh, I'll end this poll, actually. I know the music fits so well. It was meant to be. Right, Lee. My beautiful boy, Lee. He is so fun to write. And compared to Tristan, where I'm doing it kind of on an episode by episode basis, because of the complexity of Lee's story, I've kind of, in not necessarily increments, but in little bits, I have planned until I think episode 8. So now you know that there is going to be at least 8 parts. You've heard that from me so far, anyway. But he is so fun, so fun to write, to act. His story just gives me life, you know. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And I'm very happy with the reception as well that Lee got. Very different to other characters. A little bit different of an accent as well, because he's more Cockney than I am. He's just fun. He's so fun. The office romance is yum. Yeah, exactly. And it's the first kind of like the first-ish time where it's proper. There's a lot of stakes and it's in an office environment. So already the atmosphere is different, you know? Peaky Blinders, it's not Birmingham. Lee doesn't have a Brummie accent, he has a Cockney accent. Whoever the artist is, they put their A game into making him look so, you know, so handsome. Yeah, I mean, it's Kay, the same artist who did Zara's. His accent is so northern. It is not northern. His story is another fresh piece. I love it. Yeah. I really enjoy doing Lee. But what did you think of him? I'm curious. Now that I have all of you here, what do you think of him? Where's he from? He's from London. Probably. I don't know, but he's probably from London. He was a little too eager to fake date. Interesting. It was love at first listen. I need more of him. Oh, I'm invested in the story. Can't wait to see where it goes. Also can't wait to learn more about the listener. There's only so much I can put in the first episode, especially when it's not one of my longest episodes either, is it? Let me have a look at how long it was. It was Yep, 28 minutes. Normally my runtime is over 30, but he was on the shorter side. His eyes are dreamy. Oh yeah. There may only be one episode out, but it's my favorite. There's going to be a problem because they work on the same company. Yeah. So the main idea is Solomon, isn't it? He's the little chink in the armor I clipped the music change. Oh, thank you. That was great. Will you make a Scottish character? Absolutely not. I like the caring playboy vibe. Kind of gives Case in some way, but the listener is very different. That is true. Do you see what happens when you put a similar character with a different listener? How different the dynamic is? Because he is quite... In some ways, he is similar to Kaysen, but the listener is so different that you just get a different vibe from the whole thing. Solomon, I love to hate him. Yes, I'm glad for that. Suck, tell us a fun fact about him. I can't say anything because he's only had one episode. Honestly, I can't say much about him at the moment. I will just say to keep an eye on his next episodes. And I guess I will say it here and now. But Lee's episode 2 is already out on Patreon. It's already live, so it's already been made. And I believe it is already scheduled for YouTube, and it will be out on the 7th of June at normal time. So I will make a community post about it. But after Zaros, which you're going to get next week, in 2 weeks after that, you are going to get Lee again. It's going to be quite fun. Scheduled. Well, yeah, no, I should say scheduled, but I can't be bothered. Whoever voiced our X in the episode was so good. Yes, that is Whatwood Audio. I do put all of the links of the voice actors involved in the description, so if you could send your support, give them a follow, listen to their content because they're really talented. And I think the crop of VAs that I have for Lee's series are really good. And I love how much people responded to all of the characters, not just Solomon, not just Lee, but Comey as well. I saw a lot of Comey stands in the comments, which I liked. And also Gian as well, even though Gian didn't have as much screen time, shall we say. People still love Gian, and I love that. Just because of his name, it keeps reminding me of Lee from Telltale's The Walking Dead. Yeah, a lot of people have Lee, but I wanted it to be a different kind of Lee, you know? Yes, Oxy, thank you for the reminder. Patreon can only be accessed by 18 plus people. Please do not interact with the Patreon if you are a minor. So for those of you who are over the age, and if you would like to support and listen to the latest of Lee, you can do that. So is the listener's nickname confirmed to be Super V? Yes, it is confirmed to be Super V. Even though they don't like it, but... I love listening to ASMRs and recognizing other ASMR artists, like back way when it was shocking to hear you in GBA's Bastard Warrior series. Yeah, oh, I love that series. I love Voice in Devlin. The slow burn between Zaris and Iris is so slow, I wonder if they even go to end up together. A lot of people think that, which I like. If someone called me that, I wouldn't like it either. You don't like Super V? I think Super V is nice. I love that. I think it's it has some charm. And Lee's a charmer. That's why I like it so much. Super V sounds so second, third gen. You know what? I see it. I see that. Is it just me? But I don't think they'll get together. I mean, it's up in the air. Super V sounds like a Marvel hero. Oh my gosh. No, it sounds like something that you get in the boys universe, you know? Because there's Gen Z, the TV program, and they call them Oh, no, no, just in the boys in general. They just call them soups. Like superheroes, soups. He's kind of sassy. That's why I love Lee. He's very different to other characters that I've voiced and that I've written. And the predicaments that you can be put in because of that is very, very interesting, you know? And that's why I'm absolutely going to continue his series, because there is so much potential. And I mean, if I've already put it to, you know, part 8, that is how long of the, what do you call it? How long of the outline that I've done, that means that, you know, there is a lot of potential and I cannot wait to get to it. But do realize that, I mean, it's not necessarily a disclaimer. It is a little bit of a disclaimer, but the main thing is that with the bigger series, like Lee now, and with Zaros, they do take quite some time to make. Because when you put more VAs into it, it immediately makes it a little bit more complex, a bit more complicated, with the amount of time it takes to write the script, which will naturally be longer than a normal script, but also the time it takes to send over scripts to those VAs, and also when we receive the recordings, the time it takes to do any amendments, any re-recordings, you know, all that stuff. It just naturally takes a lot longer. So don't worry if you don't see a character for a while. It probably means that the next episode worked on is going to be quite big. However, I will say, with a hold on, let me bring him up. This character. Let's talk about this character for a bit, shall we? So, Xanthus. Xanthus. Speaking of long episodes. I know, okay? I'll just say this. I know. I would love to pat all of your heads, you know? I know you've been waiting. And I will say, currently, I think I don't know if I've written this out on the community post, but I'll just say it now, so that it's out there, and so that all of you know, and then you can pass on the information to other people, alright? Other comfits. So, Xanthus is being worked on. However, his next episode won't be out for a while. I can't give you a date. I can't give you a timeline. I can't give you anything. I will say that I have been actively writing his script, but for some reason, his script, or just the rest of his story, I was stuck in his story for over a year, right? It took over a year for me to come back to his script because I could not figure out how I wanted to wrap it up. Because we're at a very important part of the story, right? We're at a climax right now where everything is coming to a head. And I'm the type of writer who wants to do it justice. But I'm also dealing with characters who I don't really know a lot about, meaning vampires and mythics. So the fact that I didn't know much about the mythics meant that I couldn't continue the story because I didn't have the information. And that, I think, is the crux of why I could not write him. However, I have worked out many of the kinks now. I know more about mythics now. I've kind of fleshed that out. So it's allowed me to return to his script. Having said that, I have made the decision to write his whole story in one. Meaning that you are not going to get the first, well, you're not going to get episode 10 until the whole story has been written in script form. So that I know that, because I don't want to be at a place where I've written episode 10, and then I make episode 10, it goes live, and I'm like, yes, finally, you know, people have been waiting, I need to get this out now. And then I write episode 11, and I'm like, wait a minute. I really should have put this in episode 10. Now where I want to go with this story does not make sense. You know, I do not want to be in that trap. And I have a feeling that if I do make episode 10 without writing episode 11, I'm going to put myself in that hole. And I do not want to do it. So that's why I have made the choice to write episode 10, episode 11. I don't know if there's going to be an episode 12. I have a feeling there's only going to be 2 episodes left of Xanthus. But that's how I'm going to do it. So when his whole story is written out onto script, in a script form, and I've gone over it and I've told myself that I like the story, I like the ending, that is when I'm going to focus on actually creating the audio. Okay? So it is being done. It is being done. But I'm just taking my time with it because I want to give Xanthus... I don't want to make an audio for the sake of making an audio because it's been a while, you know? Because then it won't be the best of my abilities. It won't live up to my expectations. And because y'all have been with me for so long, you know what my best looks like. And you will tell that I haven't put as much thought into it as I could have. And that's why, yeah, that's why I've made that decision. So, I hope you understand. He is being worked on. Don't worry, I have not forgotten him. I will never forget him. Yeah, I know there's 30 minutes. I mean, there's not really much else I can talk about. So I will end it soon, don't worry. I'll wait an entire year for an episode if that's what you need. I mean, you already have waited over a year for an episode. And I didn't want to always make like AUs either. Because then I'm taking away time from the actual audio. Well, I'm taking away from the actual story in order to make AUs to appease those who really, really miss Xanthus, you know? So I'm just using my time in a more efficient way. Yeah. Quality over quantity. I wanted to say indeed and exactly at the same time. It's been a long time since you've last seen Xanthus. Well, his main storyline anyway. And that's also why you haven't seen Dantis, because he's stuck in the same storyline. The only time you saw Dantis was his backstory, his lore story. Speaking of, actually, what did you think? Let's pull him up. Dantis. This one or this one? Oh, this is a big one. All right, there he is. Dantis. What did you think of that? For those who watched. I don't know how to say this, but I really like how you write your scripts to the point without saying the ages of all characters, people know who's older and who's younger due to how they talk. Yeah, it is it's something that isn't really talked about, you know. But thank you. The Dante's audio drama took my breath away. I'm glad. I really, really enjoyed making it. Is that his official new look or just for that audio? It's his look. I want to use this as what I'm going to use like in the future. I was revamping my island in Animal Crossing, and now every time I walk past that section, I remember. Have you ever thought of writing screenplays at all? I mean, what I kind of write for audios, I do it in a screenplay format. So technically I do, it's just for audio dramas instead of something on a screen, you know? After reading the description, do you have any update on how your streaming schedule is going to go next year? I have no clue. Although I will get to that. Let me just write that down so that I talk about this before I end streaming. Okay. At first I thought Dantes was an entirely different VA, then later realized it was also you. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. I love Dantes so much. The audio drama, the third vid, made me cry. Yeah, that got a lot of people. You were like a whole artist. Your audios are so immersive, and it's actually so glad I found you all these years ago. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I mean, it is an art making audio dramas, or making these audio roleplays anyway. It is definitely an art. Can you please explain more about the bracelet, or is it something that will come up? What do you mean bracelet? I love his accent too, Eden. Love it. Will you make more audio dramas in the future, or was there not enough attention for Donnie? Good question. I will likely not make more audio dramas in the future because there was not enough attention for Donnie. However, if there is an idea that I think may prove more lucrative, then perhaps. But for now, I'm not going to make an audio drama or any more audio dramas because even though I had so much fun with it, like, I think making that audio drama, I had the most fun that I'd ever had making anything on this channel. It wasn't, the effort that I put into it is not worth it. So that's why I'm going to continue going down the roleplay route. No, that doesn't, Romy. Put your wallet away, okay? No more. Xanthus bracelet. Oh, was it the bracelet that gave their location away? The one with the smell of Xanthus in it. It drives me crazy how smart he's thinking about every little detail and miss it. Oh, I think something was said about the bracelet. I'm gonna have to go check the audio again just to make sure. I'll actually write that down so I do check. But I'm pretty sure I made a reference of it in the audio. So no more Dantes and Hunter? I don't know. Dantes is the kind of character that could have many different listeners because he's lived for so long and he has such a rich life and backstory. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with Dantes after Xanthus's audios. But we'll see. Dantes I can never just throw away. Absolutely not, because I love him. I've listened to his audios on repeat because the way he speaks, oh, it's soothing. Yeah, it's very different to other characters that I've made. That's why I like him. Unrelated, is your PO box still open? Yes, it is. My PO box is still open. If any of you would like to send anything to my PO box, if you go on Twitter, it is my pinned post. It is still open. I don't have to listen to you, Saku. That's the beauty of it. Wow. Him and Xanthus are so funny. I could listen to them big for hours. I do like the dynamic between Dantes and Xanthus for sure. We need all the Sakuverse characters meet Dantes for some therapy. Oh yeah, they would get a lot of therapy. And I think they would get something out of it too. We would never settle with only one person. I mean, I don't think so. Hi, it's first time on one of your streams. Hello, thank you for coming. I memorized the first 2 minutes of the last episode of Dantes from how many times I listened to it. Wow, that's crazy. My final exam is tomorrow. I want to move from the lecture. Bye. But oh, thank you so much for coming, Alexis. Oh, yes. I love how many people love Dantes' accent. It's so fun to do. And that is why I made it. What do you call it? redeem on Twitch because I love doing his accent so much. It's so rich. It's so nice. Who said I was 41? I'm gonna be 31 this year in 2 weeks. Is Dondis older or younger than Zani? Remember Xanthus describing Dondis as an older brother that should act like it, but then also describe him as a child in a different episode. Yes, you are right. Dondis is 600, around 600 years old. But he can be not naive, but he can be not up to Zani's standards, you know? And Zani doesn't like that. Is that gonna be a birthday stream? Probably not. I'm gonna take my day for me, you know? This is kind of my birthday stream, I guess. You are a child, but Dantes is 200 years older. Yeah, exactly. That's why I love them so much. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with Dantes yet. Dantes, it depends on how Xanthus' story ends. But he does have a lot of potential still. And I think Dantes is also in that weird pocket where he's popular, but he's not. You know? He's like, he does well, but he doesn't. So I don't really know what to do with him. I have ideas, but we will see. Yeah, technically I'm gonna be 91 this year, I guess. Alright, so with that said, we've got a few minutes left. Oh, hold on. Dante said he loves Hunter and that he's never loved anyone, but he still could never settle. Yeah, that's why he's such an interesting character, isn't he? He's so interesting because he has so much love, and yet he hasn't loved much. You know? Who would you say is your most popular character currently that's not shelved? Ooh, good question. Who's not shelved? Oh, Isaac. Hands down. Isaac, for sure. Yeah. Isaac isn't shelved yet. But I think out of the people who aren't shelved, I think it's Isaac. I think it's Isaac and then possibly Elias and then Zaros. Yeah, I think it's those three. Those three are my popular ones right now. Though I will say, yeah, because I'll make that the last thing. This will be the last thing that I talk about. I will say that. All right, hold on. Let's stop talking about Dantes right now. So what I will say is, right, Isaac. There is no season 2. There will not be a season 2 for Isaac. Isaac is now in that odd phase with where Andrew was, where the other characters who have had their series come to an end. He's just in that weird phase where he has more potential for content, but not enough for a series. So it's going to be like these one-offs now, okay? However, one of them... Oh, Matthias is also shelved. I forgot about that. We didn't talk about him. I just never wrote farewell. All right. So, okay, before I go on to what I was originally saying, let me just make this very, very clear, okay? So the characters that are shelved that you will get no more content from is Alex, Andrew, Sevik, Kason, Luca, Matthias, Neil, Nico, and Rowan. Those characters are officially shelved. You will get no more content from them. Okay? Cool. Right. So, having said that, yeah, for Isaac, even though he doesn't have enough for a season 2, because I know that there is potential for a season 2, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know. Y'all want a season 2. I get it. I know y'all like Isaac. I love Isaac too. However, he just doesn't have enough for a season 2. I could go like the investigator route where they go do investigations and they go out and then you see the development between them and, you know, other angst that could possibly happen and conflict maybe with the Trimidian or whatever and the court, blah, blah, blah. But there isn't, okay? There just isn't. From my perspective anyway, there isn't. So I'm going to do what I've done with other characters who have had their series end, which is give a little more, just a few more snapshots of their lives before I bring them completely to an end. And what I have decided to do is the next Isaac audio, I believe, I am thinking of making a sleep aid for Isaac. So that is something to look forward to when it comes to Isaac. I don't think I'm going to make it his farewell audio. No, I'm not, actually. No, I'm not going to make it his farewell audio. Because I have other ideas for Isaac. Again, not season 2, okay? Just extra audios with him, all right? But the next Isaac audio that you will probably get from him, well, from me, I guess, is a sleep aid, which is going to be fun. PJ, thank you so much for the super chat. A quick thanks to you. Oh, wait, I can't read anymore. Quick thank you to you, Saku, for all these. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. So yes, Isaac is going to have a sleep aid. That's his next one. Probably. Okay. And then we have, who else is active? Let me see. Let me just talk about them real quickly. Alex, Andrew, Asarel. Well, y'all just got Asarel, so I'm not even going to talk about him right now. Savika Shalv, Dantes is in the wind. Elias. I am working on Elias Part 8. So I believe that is going to come out. I want to say July. Either June or July. Yeah, either June or July. Elias Part 8, okay? At the very latest, August. But you will definitely get Elias Part 8 in the next couple of months, okay? It is being actively worked on. So keep an eye out for that. Let's see who else we got. Isaac, I've just talked about. Jonah. Well, you just got Jonah. You just got proposed to. Lee. I've already talked about Lee. Lee is live. Well, going to be live. He's already scheduled for YouTube on the 7th of June, so keep an eye out for that. And then we have Tristan. I think I'm going to work on his part 2 at some point soon. So you should, I don't want to say should, but you may get him in June or July or August, okay? Xanthus, I've already said, I don't know. Zaros, you're going to get next weekend on Saturday. So be sure to keep an eye out for that because, yeah, he's already scheduled. He's already up. And, yeah, that's going to be fun. There is a lot of things in the works. Yeah, these past couple of months, I've actually been pretty locked in with my work. And alongside my work as well, I've been working, as I've said previously in the stream, I've been working on a website, which is going to house all of the Sakuverse lore. It is a work in progress. I have been working on it for quite a while, but there is still so much more to be done. So I don't know when that is going to be out. However, I'm hoping it will be out at some time this year. I don't know. I don't want to give myself like a strict deadline because I will not like myself if I don't get it done by said deadline. So I'm taking it as I do my audios, you know, like it's a priority, but not at the same time, you know? When will your audios be on Spotify? Because I remember that being mentioned at some point. Yeah, I said before, but I'm going to... It's not really a priority for me right now. There are things that I really want to get done this year, and Spotify isn't one of them. So I think after the things that are on my mind currently are done, then I will maybe give that some more thought. Let's see. Thank you, Nia. There was something else that I wanted to talk about before I ended. Oh, yes, that's what it was. So the streaming. I don't know about speed. What? Streaming. Wow. Yeah, I really do need to end this. I've been talking for 4 hours straight. Okay, so for my streaming, this was definitely a one-off for YouTube because I don't normally do it, right? And that's mostly because for YouTube, I tend to do it on Saturdays, and I normally do it around the time that an audio would drop, like I did today. However, YouTube isn't going to be my main place of streaming. For those of you who don't know, I haven't streamed on Twitch in a while, but I do stream on Twitch. I don't know when I'm going to be streaming yet because I'm so locked into audios and writing and just getting as much of this done. Because I say this because I have a VTuber model in progress. So it is likely that at some point when that is done, I am going to shift my attention onto VTubing, which means that I am going to be streaming more on Twitch. And at the current moment, I have I think the model is being like rendered-ish. Like we've still got a lot of work to do. And it's quite complex. I think the artist said that it's like one of the more complex ones that they've done, which requires a lot more time. So yeah, I'm gonna have a VTuber. And so yeah, it's only in the art phase at the minute, like getting the VTuber model. After that is the rigging phase, which is going to take a lot longer. So I don't know when I'm going to start properly streaming on Twitch, but I kind of do want to ease myself back into it in preparation for when I debut as a VTuber. But I will keep you updated. Right now, I think the mods can attest because they've seen the sketches from the very beginning, and they've helped me with making certain decisions. But he's gorgeous. I'm really pleased with how the VTuber looks so far. And I cannot wait to use him, which means that when I get him, y'all will know. Okay? Y'all will absolutely know. I will post, I'll put a community post out, I'll write it on X, I'll write it on Blue Sky, I'll put it everywhere, okay? So it's gonna be, I'm quite excited. I think that it's probably gonna be finished by next year. So I kind of have a rough deadline of my birthday next year, because there's still a lot to do. Because after I get the model, that means that I'm gonna have to also get like the emotes, the badges, the different screens, overlays, all that stuff. It's gonna be a lot of things to do when the model is finished. So I will let you know, because obviously if I'm going to be streaming a lot more, that means that I'm going to be taking more time away from the audios. But for the moment, I'm focusing purely on audios because I know what's going to happen when I get that model, all right? And we'll see how it goes. I don't want to like say that I'm probably going to go full-time VTubing. But we'll see. Okay? We'll see. So, with that said, this has been a 4-hour stream. Thank you so much for all of you for coming. I wish I gave a little more, I guess, time to let everyone know, but I knew that I needed to do it because of all the farewell characters, because of the new characters, and because of the future content that I have planned. I want to give a huge shout out to all of my mods. Thank you so much for coming and moderating the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would not be able to do this without you. And I mean, y'all have been with me since 2020, which is insane. Actually insane, right? Y'all have been with me since the beginning. And the fact that you're still here and you still have so much faith in me, and you still just take the time out of your day, and it's a Saturday as well, like take the time out of your day to mod this and to make sure that the community is a safe space for people. It just thank you. Thank you to all of you for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who gave a super chat. If you want to follow me on my socials, the card is pinned up at the top. Let's see, next week is Zaros, the week after is my birthday, and then the week after is Lee. So, you know, a lot to look forward to. So yeah, I will see you. Oof, I don't know. Live? I don't know. But I will update my socials about if I am going to go live at some point, okay? I will make an announcement about it. So if you want to follow me on Twitch, please do so. The card is there. It is attached. That is the place that I will probably stream. Okay, I probably won't stream on YouTube because YouTube is eh. So with that said, I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Please take care of yourselves. And I will see you later. Okay? All right. Bye. Bye. Mwah.